What do you mean by that? And what do you mean the first thing I see when I open my chat is I'm interloping inside of you? Fuck you mean? What do you mean? So chat, sorry for the delay. I was supposed to start like 50 minutes ago. I don't know if it's the heat or the fact pretty much everyone around me is now getting home. My internet died. And when I mean died. I still had it. It was just awful. Also, I used the olden technique of put water in a bottle, put the bottle in the freezer, and then put water in the water bottle with the ice inside of it, and then drink it. It's helping. It's not that hot now, but 30 minutes to an hour ago, I was, how to put it, dying. Farming Zenless stuff. Oh, wait, since when can you plant Zenless? And what is the plant Zenless and how are you farming it? Also, we're continuing with the interloper because you have 3 hours. Bottom? Are you British by any chance? Bottom, distracting where I died a lot of
Hanger, it would take another 2 months for
Of
Interloper
course.
D to be uploaded. Thankfully, you don't have to wait. This episode dives into the aftermath of the sky crash
What?
incident of
Subtitles. There we
the
go.
previous episode. Now, we get to see how the sky crash impacted the emulator. As it turns out, the program has been completely reshaped
Video
into
is too low.
something unrecognizable.
No, it's not. It's about yellow, and I also. That's as max as it can go. I think should be better. A little bit.
Game.
Then this happens.
Nah, that's too loud for you, chat. You don't deserve that much. There we go. You don't deserve it.
The most striking oddity with the Xbox emulator is that the player character
I'm kidding, chat. I didn't raise the volume just because I couldn't hear it. No, don't worry.
isn't Gordon Freeman at all. It's Scout. Something that by all
Gordon
means
Freeman?
shouldn't even be possible for a copy of Half-Life 2. So why is the player character Scout? I believe it all ties back to source filming.
What do you mean why? Well, no, why? Because the creator of the ARG wanted for the Scout to be there. What do you mean? Well, know the answer. What is that question?
As we know, Source Filmmaker is intrinsically linked to the Interloper mystery. The DM editor is a branch of an early build of Source Filmmaker.
Yes.
And SFM itself is built off of an early build of TF2. You can see this for yourself while loading into a map in Source Filmmaker. Press
cold
the
water.
F11 key on your keyboard, and you'll load into the map playing as none other than the Scout. The Sky Ghost helped Anomi access at the end of Interloper
Oh,
C.
it lagged.
It is very much related to Source Filmmaker and the DM editor. On the left side
That's
of the
not
screen,
true.
you can notice some strange objects as well. The first being a 3-point axis. We've seen this symbol various times throughout the series, with its most prominent appearance being in Helmet Creek. The appearance of the 3-point axis is identical to that of the broken emulator client, signifying an important connection between the two. Just above the axis, you can also see a model.
Isn't it just because it's in the Source Filmmaker? Or I guess DM editor, which is the same. Or another version of it. That's why it has the axis. Because you're supposed to... I don't see how that's important, but okay.
Of a key. Anomi theorizes that this key is symbolic for a serial key. But a serial
for
key
serial
for
key.
what?
Lure.
If this key really is symbolic for a serial key, then that implies there could be some sort of software hidden behind the lock. And the Xbox
Nah, it's a serial
emulator
key.
is the method
Lure.
to unlocking it. But how would one even use this key? Just a bit further into the dense white fog, you can make out what may be the answer.
It's a key.
A door.
Yes, it's serial
And just
key.
to the side of it, a
It's key, but made in cereal. Also, Chad, with my, I was supposed to say co-owner of the game, I guess. We made a new, well, we didn't make it, but we, first of all, gave a name to the new species in the game, and also we kind of make them a little bit deeper. The name is... I dropped my pencil. Oh, Jesus. Let me find the name. Not there. Not there. A bit. Nope. 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 Let me find it. Should be somewhere here. There we go. It's Eppes. Eppes. And so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 species. Okay, I guess races, if you want to put them in D&D terms. So better someone was as a character, and then they met me. They wanted ideas. They got IDEAS. What is IDEAS? Apparently, I'm the only one who did the public game, and oh boy, I poured all my creative juices in the D&D channel. Damn.
Lock. In the doorway, you can even make out the...
That's why, Chad, I keep you as low level plebs, so you don't think you have too much saying in the world. I'm kidding, Chad. I love you. I love you, Chad. Don't worry. You're important to me. They got so overwhelmed with ideas. Lower the amount of ideas, or I guess the time you're giving the ideas. Let them... My brain farted just now. Process them.
faint silhouette of a Half-Life 2 player character. This model is used in the place of the character when using third-person mode within Half-Life 2. And
I'll
the
go with my
model's
mic,
name is Semper. This Semper is a form frequently assumed by Crasher-type entities,
my brain
just
into
like the one seen in Episode 5 that Anomi could manually control.
Damn.
However,
Why are you
it's not
exploding
just
in
the
people's
objects in the
asses?
picture that are
Jesus,
familiar
mint.
to us, but the arrangement of them as well.
It's not nice
To
on
see what I
stream.
mean, watch what happens again in Episode 4 during the Portal 2 incident.
I'm sorry. You're welcome. Thank you. Wait, what? I'm not sure who you like. Oh yeah, I like people exploding my ass, chat. Probably should not be saying that with my window open, but nah, I live in Bulgaria. 90% of people around me do not understand a word that's coming out of my mouth, so it's fine. I'm surrounded is old men and people that don't speak English, so it's fine. I said what I said, chat. I don't like that it's quoted now, because I will forget where the quote's coming from, but that's not important. You're putting stuff in my mouth again. See? I was about to say something extremely diabolical. I shouldn't.
Check.
You don't
Check.
deserve it,
Door,
chat.
Check. The lock.
Check.
Even the key is right there
Mass
laying
murderer?
on the ground if
Check.
you look close enough. Ever since Interloper 2...
Let me write how the name of the species is called. It's Epes or Epes. I don't know if it means anything in any language. Do you want to know how I got to the idea? Well, I'm not sponsored by what I'm about to say about show, but that's how I got the idea. Do you see this? The Schweppes, not entirely sure how it's pronounced. Just remove the SCHW and you get Epes. Because we were out, because normally when we're working on the game, we're out. Because he works 6 days a week. Poor boy. So almost every Sunday we go out to drink coffee, yes, like the old people. And while we're drinking coffee, we work on the game. And the other thing we reached is when we're making the physical copy of the rules, it will be around that size, which is A4, I think. Oops, sorry. Around that size. The rule book. And I was thinking, do not look up epis. Now, you cannot tell me that and expect me not to Google it. I hate you, chat. Epis. The first thing I see when I type epis is a town. Yeah, from Wiki, the free encyclopedia Epis may refer to Francis W. Epis, Henry Epis, John Wallis Epis, Mary Jefferson Epis, Richard Epis, T.J. Epis, fictional characters, people with name Epis, or places that are named Epis. See also Epis, disambiguation. That. What? Okay. I don't see a problem. I see a house and a lot of people. Just chatting. Okay. So who? I mean, to be honest, that does not concern me because American names are fucking weird. Even if I name something Apple, there will be John or Smith Apple or John Apple Smith or something like that was also that. So American names are weird. But yeah, Epis apparently is a last name. I was expecting to be something much worse. But also it's, I think, a town. Or at least a house. But yeah, that's fine. Check Discord again, of course. Yo, why is he looking at me like that? So stop it. Stop it. No, don't worry, I saw it. Why is he looking at me like that? Fucking love it, by the way. But yeah, even if people think it's like that, I'ma just tell them, go to your store, get a Schweppes, or Schweppes, I think it's Schweppes, because it's, well, German, I think. Get the drink Schweppes and remove the SCHW, and you get the name of the species. Not that deep. I'm not that, I was supposed to say, I'm not that deep, I am that deep, chat. I'm not that smart to make the connection of real people. Come on now. Think, chat. I'm not that smart.
Portal RTX has been an integral piece of the interloper puzzle and served as a vital
More
tool in
linguistic.
the investigation.
The thing is, we still have no idea how the language is gonna... We're planning to not make the language because I'm not that smart, but one day in the future, if or when we have the money, I want to hire an actual linguist either to help or to make the language. I mean, I will be there over their head, like, this is what we want, or kind of what we would like it to be, with the alphabet looking, I'm pretty sure I've showed you the alphabet, chat? But with the alphabet looking in a specific way. So please work with that. I agree, but it could be changed. But I just like the simplicity of it. We also know that the Epis is not going to be the real name of the species, because when they started to spread, they spread extremely fast in the galaxy, or in the universe in general. And they spread, because they're not the normal cultivation society, they're like our societies, extremely extremely together, like a society. They, instead of sects, they have, similar to that, they have a school where they learn cultivation. They're caste society, basically, like from Warhammer, the funny aliens, the funny alien dudes, the Tau. And when they finish school, when they finish school, they get put in different castes. The ruling caste, the worker caste, all of them kind of have equal rights, and excluding the ruling caste, they have a little bit more. But what do you expect? So they started to spread extremely fast and extremely efficiently. So when the other species, the humans, the loons, the dragons, the Yao Guai and the demons kind of saw what's happening, they kind of banded together to beat the fuck out of the Epes. And the word Epes was born or kind of used for them like 2, 3, 4, 5 million years ago. And the word means pest. Because the other people saw them like pests, because they were spreading extremely fast. Finis. Oh, the Finis. The thingies. Oh, wait. I saw it's Fi. It's a long E, because it's the double E, so it's Finis. Okay. I would make the language named
allowing for exploration of the source void. It wasn't until the Tuesday manifest that the anomaly inflicting the game was reverted.
But that's kind of where we are with them. And also we know they will look similar to the aliens from the Independence Day movie. I just think they look cool. So they will look something similar to them. But that's kind of where we are with them. We just know they have a name that they call themselves, which we still don't have that name. But in general, kind of the meaning of the word was not really associated with pest anymore. It's just kind of a title that stuck to them. Maybe there will be kind of old cultivators that still use the epes as a diminutive. As a bad word to describe the species, but most people just kind of refer to them as either their real name that the Epes call themselves, or Epes. Kind of that's the idea so far. Jack Daniels yet? No, we didn't. We're gonna make him on Friday. Also, we have Jack Daniels already, but he's part of my party. Maybe it will be something other Jack or John. That is now interloping time. Yes, because we still have 3 hours.
Here, through its similarity to the Xbox emulator, we can see that there was so much more to learn. And as we investigate further, we're going to learn much more about this connection. However, as of right now, investigating the emulator...
Oh, the other thing we were planning to do with the rulebook is to... Chad, if you know the old Bibles, where they're fucking huge. I mean, like this big. Bigger than my torso. And then, well, wider than it. We were planning to make the rulebook that big, and then make the words like this, like every single letter like this big. So you don't need to write 15,000 pages with type 12 font. So it would be like this big. But it would be cool.
A bit tricky because moving is impossible, and attempting to use the scattergun crashes the program. So
of course it does.
Done within the emulator, the Sky Ghost is still MIA, and Portal RTX is reverted. What can even be done to investigate Interloper? Absolutely nothing. Thanks for watching. Later, the Sky Ghost is still MIA, and Portal RTX is reverted. What can even be done to investigate Interloper?
At some point during the stream, Portal reverted back to normal. Okay.
Absolutely nothing.
Because I kind of missed when it reverted back. No, oh, sir, don't do that to me. Where's my shanking stick? One moment, chat. I need to find my shanking stick. I miss my shanking. No, where is it? No, my shanking stick. I find my shanking stick, chat. We're fine. I can do lobotomies again. Nice.
And following the events of the previous episode, the same thing happened once more. Within the Yan folder, a new map file was generated.
Let's go. Let's go, Jan.
This map file to the Steam Workshop for his viewers to help solve.
Okay.
The name of this map was Kulks. This map file could very well be the way to unlock the door in the Xbox emulator. The only question left now is how.
Wow! Two ads of exactly the same ads. I also not entirely sure what happened. The video refreshed itself.
To help solve. And the name of this map was Colks.
Coolx.
This map file could very well be the way to unlock the door in the Xbox emulator.
It's 63,000 megabytes or 63.091. One of the two. Half-Life 2. Electric Boogaloo.
Upon loading into the map, you are greeted by a strange sight. The camera takes on the point of view of
You're
something
swimming
moving
in
erratically
the
on
sun.
map. It's not until you press any movement keys that you assume control of the player character.
Hello, Combine person. Ooh. Is that the new Super Mario chat? It looks good.
Colks is largely composed of one of the base game City 17 maps, but expanded outwards. The map's borders have been expanded to be a large island.
Okay.
And the map's transparent textures have been replaced with checkerboards. But that's far from where the map's oddities end. Strange geometry litters the map. Obelisks extend toward the sky, floating rings are dotted around the place, and strange screen-like textures display various source games. We can even
I guess if you do something with that, you can go to that game, maybe?
NPC with a black cone attached to its eye.
It's the Umbrella Man.
I feel reminded of the various maps generated during the Tuesday Manifest. Many of the strange features present in Colks are present in those maps as well, indicating that they were created with the same type of generative map AI that F-Sky was experimenting with.
Okay.
But aside from surface-level similarities to other generated maps,
of course
what's
you're using
important
AI.
about this map in particular, and how can it function as a key? Is there even anything to solve on this map? None of the oddities present seem to amount to anything, and even after
brother, 3 more hours in the goddamn video. Of course they are. Why are you cooking me?
Hiding? For 2 days, the Anomalous
Sniper.
Materials Discord server
Sniper
would be
gaming.
in a rush to decipher any possible meanings they could from Colks. But it wouldn't be until a user named Super Gaming Bug made a post that the investigation would finally gain some momentum.
Let's go.
Colks are a handful of traffic cone props. They can be picked up and tossed around just like any other physics prop, and don't seem to hold any intrinsic purpose.
Until?
But don't be mistaken, these cones are important. Not because of what they can do,
Listening before I was the thing I know, I'm kidding.
Landmarkers. Within the direct line of sight of every cone.
Wait, when was the origin written?
That matches a letter or number.
Wait. The ARG was written before 1960s, 70s? 70s, I think. That's when the idea of AI was born, kind of. It was written before that, Jesus.
One were to take every
didn't know Half-Life existed back then.
Them by cone placement in order from the top of the map to the bottom, it would spell out a message.
2005. Damn.
CGE.
Damn, it's old.
193. Absolute.
It's almost as old as me.
That is, unless you have a keen
I'm old, chat.
The model of the leak crew, which shows up
Written,
in
of course, yeah.
is shown as an error in the Hammer editor. Examining it shows that its name is DMNPC Capture Pawn, but its world model name is ENT DMNPC T-Leet CGE.
Oh, he's an ant,
193.
which is the three
That's
people.
Right. The message spelled out in Colks shares the name of the very first DMNPC we ever saw in this series.
Okay.
Hey, now we're getting
Hey,
somewhere.
Vsauce Michael here. You are safe.
On
No, are you?
February 19th, of 2025, 2 days before the upload of Interloper D. A new re-upload would be archived on the Ida Mona channel. The video
Your
was
locks are
titled
strong.
Saxy Awards 2012.
Or are they?
The Scout on the empty server and the
Shh.
Strange
Oh,
Dreams
wow,
Award. The
Saxy
video
Awards.
itself was an
I've read something
entry for the
completely
Saxies,
different.
a formerly annual event for Team Fortress 2
No.
where users would submit
No.
fan films to be judged in an award
No.
show, with winners receiving in-game Saxy Awards.
Oh,
that
hell
turn into
yeah.
Gold on hit. Anamide himself even has one of these awards, and I'm gonna pretend I'm not a little bit jealous of that fact. The description of the
The
upload,
character
at
name,
least the part
Haxon
that's
Hale.
got a long rant from Ida
Oh,
defending
didn't know
himself
that.
against plagiarism allegations, states that this video was the last machinima the Ida Mona channel would ever upload.
Which is spun a sexy.
Marking the transition
Oh.
point of the channel.
Let's
from
go. Of course I'm not
machinimas
wrong, Chad.
to
I'm never
investigating the
wrong.
interloper
I don't know why I
mystery,
doubted myself.
And also torturing sentient AI to be your ghost.
Nah, she's just dabbing,
The SFM
but
short
in the
follows
wrong
Scout
way.
As he wanders around an empty server of 2 fort.
Think
for
the
3
sexy
minutes.
word. Hell
Needless to say,
yeah.
both the plot and animation quality were far below the standards set by other 2012 Saxy animations. The short ends with Scout noticing some odd noises coming from a door in the red sewers. He begins opening the door to investigate before the screen cuts to black. 13 years after Ida uploaded this animation, investigators in Anomi's Discord would make a huge discovery in the interloper mystery.
Okay.
While browsing the community server browser within TF2, a user named Yarkane would notice something very odd.
I'm a
Within the
sneeze,
list
chat.
of selectable servers was one by the name CGE7193. This
Sorry.
server was tied to Interloper. Now, it's time to see why.
Oh. Meant I'm uploading the Warframe video. Well, the non-edited Warframe video. I want, well, after the stream it will be. So, I would want your opinion tomorrow. Like, on a list of, yes, I like this, do more. I don't like that, do less. Strip more, etc. Stuff like that. Bonk.
Upon loading into the server,
Yeah.
users would
Oh,
be taken to
yeah.
an empty server of the map.
Yeah.
The map looked completely normal, with nothing being out of place. However,
Yeah.
this map was
Yeah.
hiding something. One
Yes.
key difference from the vanilla map would be eventually noticed. Within the red sewers, one of the doors was breakable, and when broken,
Yep.
would lead into a black void.
Dum
Walking
dum
to the open
dum.
doorway in the server would trigger a transition to a new map. In
Hell
2012,
yeah.
Ida uploaded the Strange Dreams door machinima, and now 13 years later, this TF2 server, connected to the Interloper mystery, would recreate Ida's video down to the very door shown in the video. What
Okay.
the Interloper community was unaware of, however, was that the rabbit hole this server was about to send them down would be one of the longest, most complicated sagas in the entirety of the Interloper mystery. Things are about to get really freaking weird, so strap in tight.
Yeah, because they were not weird until now, Mr. YouTuber. YouTuber. Oh, so am I subscribed? Yes, I am. Okay. Also, chat, I forgot to send a link last time when we were watching, so last Monday. But please go and support the Mr. YouTuber. He deserves it. That's a really good video, and also it's fucking 7 hours long. Here's strap-ons. He just said, wear your strap-ons. Of course, I am always wearing my strap-on, chat. Well. Also, hell yeah, those
Upon
ends
entering
look
the door in
cool.
sewers,
I am
every
wearing
player
my
in the
strap-ons,
server
all
would
of
be
them.
transported to a map named Ask, with it being the first of many,
Ass.
many alternative accessible maps within the server.
Oh,
While it's not a
wait,
direct
Ouija board?
replica, the map is comparable to the Ouija board style
Yes.
of maps Ida used during his ghost hunting series. The map consists of a doorway and a keyboard-like layout of letters and characters. It seems like the generative
What you
AI
ask it?
powering these maps is
Are you a YouTuber? Sorry, I don't know why I'm using that as a Steam line and Steam line. After I heard it from Mr. Affable himself, I cannot stop fucking saying it. Literally just Petscop. Yep. So far, at least, he just best cop. So yes, I'm asking, do you want to marry me? And then I will marry the clanker.
Heavily influenced by Ida's past, and that pattern will continue going forward. If one were to completely ignore the letters and simply break down and advance through the doorway, you'd see a new map. This map is titled No Access, and it's a small, inescapable cube that gives players the message, "To user, you do not have permission to view this data. Please try
No.
again later."
That's cool.
After a few minutes inside of the map, the server would
Crashes.
reset to
Yeah.
2-port, and the cycle would repeat.
Okay.
This time, instead of ignoring the letters, let's input some gibberish code to see if it does anything. And much like last time,
Add
we're met with the same result.
access
That's because the
denied.
map only accepts certain codes, and what those codes would do remained unknown as of yet. But after
Okay.
the discovery of the strange server, Anomi's
Was
Discord
that-
community would
I-
undergo a
Why is the
frenzied
word?
search to
Oh
locate
wait, because
any
it's not.
codes they could.
Because it's not fucking English. It's I forgot what language they use in the Norway countries. Some sort of German, probably. I am
process of
stupid.
entering
Yes.
codes was a rather long one as well, because after every
Oh, Yuri.
unsuccessful code input,
Yoi.
the entire server
I-
was taken to no access
Yes.
and was stuck there
You
for
mean-
30 minutes to even an hour. Every incorrect guess was a waste of each precious second in the investigation.
Weird game,
And the
Jack.
situation
Yeah,
would
we're
only
jacking the
grow
weird
stranger
game.
as well.
Yes.
Early into the investigation on the server, players were suddenly and without warning taken to a new map with a simple message. Hi. The
Hello.
players were not in control.
And Wikipedia, thank you.
Ah.
Ah. Wrong fucking language for a second. That sounds like the when the two turtles were fucking and the male turtle was like, ah. That's how almost exactly like that. But that turtle has a deeper voice. Ah. Okay, that's fucking hilarious though. Ah. Okay. Funny languages. Ah.
Control on this server.
But
It was
you
being
shouldn't pay it.
controlled by what appears to be
Ah.
sentient AI. And not only was the AI aware of the player's presence, it was actively controlling, manipulating, and communicating with them.
Ah.
The AI
No,
would
man. I'll use it as a stim line now. Fuck. Ah.
communicate through the text chat for players on the server. Eventually, the first secret code would be successfully entered into ask.
I kratko.
Open door, which translates to open door from Norwegian.
I don't think that's an O. That was definitely not pronounced as an O, Chad. It's not just a funny O, it's a different pronunciation. I just don't remember what it is. I don't remember what it was. Can I see it here? I'm trying to find it. I cannot. There it is. What? Yeah. I don't know if you could. Oh. Fine. Okay, now I'm curious how it's pronounced now. Swedish, Danish, and Norwegian. Hello? Hello, YouTube?
You are looking looking at Julian's pronunciation guide, where we look at
Jesus, Julian.
some of the most mispronounced words in the world, like this other curious word. But how do you say what you're
A
looking for
croissant.
today? We are looking at how to pronounce this letter. How do you say it? It's commonly found in Norse languages, Norwegian, Swedish, for example. It is said as That's exactly the same
Blue.
sound as in
So it's So it's brother. Okay. So it's brother. Okay. Fuck you mean? Why are you what are you clipping me? So it's I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce the A, but it's maybe Appendur. Dur. Something like that. Norwegian people. Your language is weird and hard to pronounce. I love it. I was looking at something. To see how to pronounce the A. Which I don't think I can see in here. Am I fucking blind? Where is A with a dot on top of it? Apparently I might be blind because I don't see it. I just saw it. It does not have a pronunciation, chat. Nope. Wait, nope. Sumimasen. There we go. Hello again, Julian. I don't know why I'm going down that rabbit hole, but I'm curious now. So now, chat, you are curious as well. Am I fucking right, chat? Good. You are curious. Ignore, we're not looking at ads. That's why we're waiting for that.
You are looking at Julian's pronunciation.
Thank you,
guide.
Julian.
We are looking at how to pronounce this letter.
Talk about his before he teaches the pronunciation. Yeah.
Little circle on top of it, the letter A in Swedish, and the pronunciation may vary slightly depending on the country.
Holy
In
deep
Swedish,
voice,
it's
though.
said as or.
Why is it an I if it's pronounced O? Brother, what the fuck?
It's easy. Or.
So wait, so it's open door or open door. Okay. I was wrong. So it's open door. I guess. Look up the open door. I don't think I can copy the word. Oh wait, no, it's Appendor. There we go. Nope. Nope. I'm trying to see if AI is gonna give me the word so I can copy it. Oh wait, I can just fucking do this. Am I stupid? Appen, and then we need the funny. Nope, not I. Not. I'm blind, Chad. One moment. There it is. I need the Oh, it literally means opener.
Open door.
Open what?
Open door. Open door. Open door.
It's pronouncing it two different fucking ways.
Open door.
Without the R in front of the U.
Open door.
Is it open door or without the R? Fuck you mean, Google?
Open door.
Without the R?
Open door.
With the R?
Open door.
Without the R?
Open door.
With the R. Ah?
Open door.
Upendul. Upendul. It sounds Japanese a little bit, yeah.
Open door.
But it's on a kind of softer R, kind of between R and L and L. L. So it's something like that. Open
door.
troll. Yeah. Weird. But it doesn't mean open door, it means opener, according to what I just saw.
Region, the server.
Oh,
will
it's
be transported
Norwegian.
to a new
Never
map.
mind. I mean, it could just literally mean opener.
This map
So
is
it opens the
titled
door.
It's a
So,
dimly lit
sword.
room, and at the center of it lies a bizarre machine. Upon closer inspection, the machine appears to be some sort of torture device. Inside the femur breaking looking ass instrument is none other than the civilian model Ida used to represent Mona. Within the files of
Mona.
the map lies a shocking
Why was
discovery.
shooting her?
Inside of the map, there was actually a video file that could be played in-game, and the contents of the video file were
Ew.
deeply disturbing. It showed the machine in
New
action.
TW creature. The creature and the ooh. And peacock. And peacock. No. Jesus. What the fuck? Fuck, I was about to make the joke with the keyblades, but I forgot what game are they from. Fuck.
This video is notable, not just for its horrific contents, but also because it's one of the lost Ida Mona videos.
It wasn't my
Somehow
atrocities in Oni.
preserved
Nah,
within the data
it's about
of
on the same
server
level.
itself. The archivist would go on to re-upload the video to the archive channel, with it notably being the only video in the entirety of the archive channel to be manually age restricted by the archivist.
Damn.
Another interesting fact about this video is that in the timeline of Ida's channel, this video happens
Bonk.
roughly a week after Ida's can incident and a week before Ida deleted his channel. We've heard a lot
Okay.
about the extreme lengths
Maybe we need
that
to put
would
Ida
go
in,
to go for his experiments.
in
And
an
we had
institute
seen
or
a bit of
something.
it in episode 8 of his ghost hunting series.
The model
But this
had
level of sheer
Min, do you want to talk about that you keep your dupes alive while everything there is happening? Yeah, but you are not just drowning them in pee. You're drowning them, but you're not killing them in the pee. They drown, and then they stop, and then they heal, and then they drown, and then they stop. It's the same. So it's beautiful. I'm kidding, Chad, that's disgusting.
brutality on a sentient
Eh.
being that can clearly feel pain is just intensely uncomfortable.
I kind of missed the
to
part
watch.
where
This would
her
not
neck
be the
gets
only video
stretched.
found
Ooh.
either. As the investigation pushed
Fair
onward,
enough.
the cycle of inputting passwords continued. The investigators
The only
in Nova's
the only
Discord
difference is
server
well,
found
they're
a
not
whole
sentient
slew of
and she
codes,
is.
with each leading to new off-putting and at times
So yeah, this is
even
worse.
recognizable maps. For the entire duration of the investigation, the AI controlling the server would also toy with its inhabitants,
What?
oftentimes singling out specific users. On one occasion, all users in the server were kicked except for a single player named Bill.
Deal.
After, the
Ooh.
server transitioned to a map also named Bill. The map consisted of a red and green spotlight, and the AI asked Dill a question.
Very good morning, Deal.
Very good morning, Dill. Would you like to enable server death to play your game state? Yes, no, please choose. Dill
Top of the morning, Deal.
would ultimately choose yes, and after this decision,
Oh, no.
the Ask map would be updated with a permanent new addition. There
Oh,
was now
no.
a box containing a herd trigger named Bill. The Dill incident was far from the only strange player interaction on the server.
Okay,
At
we're
random
torturing
points,
NPCs again.
Individual players would be given access to betrayal codes from the AI. If
What?
a player were to make the choice to type that code out, all players except the traitor would be kicked from the server.
Oh.
The AI specifically gave these codes out to players for the stated purpose of killing the game. Whatever
No.
lies at the end of this mystery, the AI really doesn't want people to find out.
Deal.
Despite the AI's efforts, the investigation would in fact continue, and fast, as the users on the server were dead set on getting to the source of the server anomaly.
Come on,
Let's go
Clanky,
through
you
some of
can't
the most
outsmart
important
us.
findings from the server. Using the code COLX, the same name as the generated Half-Life 2 map, would take users to a map named Plotnus.
Okay.
A map with a giant sphere and a small cube.
Hey, it's the
Embedded within
Destiny
this map is
Visitor.
another
I think it's
item
just called a
video.
Visitor.
This one eerily titled, Mona Doesn't Move Anymore. Through the archivist
Oh,
re-upload
God.
of the video, we can see that the
Well,
video
then
chronologically takes place
ask her to move then.
only one day after the previous upload. The video shows Ida using the DM
Behold,
editor to
giant
check on
grape.
the status of Mona post next snap.
Can you imagine how
And
much juice it will have?
unsurprisingly, Mona
If there is a grape the size of that, or a vine with grapes the size of that, can you imagine how much juice there will be inside? Oh my goodness. That'll be a godsend.
has been reduced to a near catatonic, shaking mess.
Oh god.
Which, yeah, Ida, I wonder what you expected to happen after you used a medieval torture device to karate chop her freaking head off. Another connection can be drawn from the location the video takes place in. It bears a strong resemblance to the cube found just outside of CP Steel in episode 7. I'm led to believe that these maps were created by Ida during his search into Interloper, as most of the
Could
maps he
be.
built were simple cube-shaped boxes just like this. However, one unexplained oddity is the strange
sorry.
square-shaped slot into the ground. This strange feature of the map is something I'll come back to later. And by
Thank
later,
you.
I mean look at the runtime for this video. However, not all recovered videos are from the same time period. Take, for
Okay.
instance, the map Bellad, a version of CP Steel that has been
Ballad?
modified to appear like it's in the source
I
code.
think.
Embedded within this map is a video titled Control Method from 2012.
Sorry. Did he shot himself? Oh, he did. I think. It's all the range that the paranormal believer has more map making knowledge than the down
This
to
video shows
earth
Ida
experimentation guy.
assuming
I mean,
control
yeah.
of a DM NPC
He
by
wanted to
shooting
hide
it with a
the
scatter gun.
atrocities he
then
did
uses
to
the DM NPC
the sentient AI he trapped, or she trapped, in them to serve as their wife. I'm fucking stupid.
to fly off in the same direction we saw the Crasher move in the Weird Crash video. In fact, this video was uploaded only a day after the Weird Crash incident took place, which means that Ida recorded this nearly immediately afterwards.
Sorry.
Despite the model being
There'll
the
be ads
same
in a minute,
female
chat.
civilian that he often forces Mona into, I don't believe we're seeing him actually control that Mona here.
I think that was
as this
moving.
video
Something was
chronologically
moving
takes
on the
place
right.
Before he captures the entity. He's likely just using this civilian model because, as we've seen, he has quite the affinity for it. The archivist notes that the video is missing the voiceover and the ending. So whatever happened next is lost to time. But just going off of what we do have, this video raises
That feels
a lot of
weirdly
important
disgusting.
questions. For one, what is the same 3-point
Well
axis
written,
from the
actually.
Xbox emulator doing here? And why is it the
Well, it's in
scattergun
Source
that
Filmmaker,
activates control
so-
of the DM NPC? Perhaps Ida isn't even playing TF2 right now. Maybe he's using the DM editor.
Oh yeah,
Just
or
like earlier in the
Filmmaker.
Xbox emulator, the player character is Scout, which is what the Source Filmmaker defaults to when you enter the map manually.
Okay.
In the emulator, shooting the scattergun crashes the client. However, here we can see the purpose of the scattergun, manually controlling DM NPCs. One last detail I'd like to bring to your attention is quite an easy one to miss, but I want you to closely look at what replaces Ida's player model after he assumes control.
I can't
That's
see
right.
it.
A cone.
Oh, cone! Didn't
We're
even
starting
see
to
it.
see cone shapes a lot as we progress further into this series. The first cone we saw was in Gris, a video of a very early build of Box Rocket.
Okay.
In
Oh yeah,
Gris,
the cone that was
seems to have a mind of its
jiggling.
own, much like the DM NPCs of the Source engine, and I want you to keep that in mind. The next IDA video to be found would be with the code Speckle. The map itself consists of 2 slopes, purposefully angled so high that they cannot be
Jesus.
climbed. By looking at the video file within the map, we can see the purpose that this map served.
Okay. Oh no. Oh no,
Within the
more
map's
torture
premise,
rooms.
Mona is completely trapped and unable to move. Way above her is a hint node. These blocks are for guiding DM NPCs. This is something we see explicitly.
Oh no,
in
oh
Helmet
no,
Knight.
she's trying
And
to
just
reach.
like that Type
Oh
5 demo,
god.
Mona is tasked with moving towards a hint node that they could never hope to reach.
Why
However,
though?
At least in Helmet Creek, the NPC was mercifully granted a quick end. Ida is nowhere near as merciful.
Like, what the fuck
There's
is the
no
point of
telling
that?
How long Mona has been here and will continue to be here afterwards. Minutes? Hours? Days? The next 3 videos found hold some interesting discoveries as well. The map Stork is the exact same
Stork.
map Ida used to ask Mona what her name was in episode 8 of the Ghost Hunting series. The entire map is even enveloped in the same hurt trigger that Ida created to provoke a reaction from Mona. It's been over a decade since
God.
this map was created.
Sick
In spite of
bastard.
that, here it is, perfectly preserved within the database. And it's
Okay.
not the only time we've seen this either. A map made by Anomi was also found within the F-Sky database during the Tuesday Manifest, which baffled even F-Sky themselves. Memories of the past are being perfectly preserved within the F-Sky database. And it's
Well, they've
not
not
the
checked their
only
server,
memory
so-
preserved within the map either, as there's another video file tucked away in the map, albeit not as well. This is what remains
What the
of
fuck?
the video Ducks, 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 a machinima made by in
Um,
2009.
That's
It's
a
barely distinguishable,
bit
with the
creepy.
only remnants of it being distorted audio
Is that Ida?
and a clip
Oh, not
of
Ida,
the
is that
leaves
the-
swaying in the wind. The
Is that
archivist
NPC?
himself even notes the sad state of the video in the description.
Very heavily damaged video file, but I was able to see that this is a section of a video called Ducks, 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 which was a sort of tribute video for Gary Mans. It's actually a really nostalgic video for me, but unfortunately, this is the most I've seen of it in years. Please let me
Okay.
know if you can find this one, as this is
This
really
look
one of
like,
the few videos I
my
actually care about
breakfast,
and still remember
damn.
fondly,
Are
even
you
with
eating
all
the
weird
are you
and
eating the
funny issues that
rainbow?
got attributed to this channel.
There's a hidden layer of tragedy to the story.
Actually,
of
if
the
we could eat the
archive
rainbow, I
chain
wonder
that
what
often
they should
goes
have.
understated. We've become so enraptured in the mystery of Interloper, it's hard to remember a time when this archive channel was just a loving tribute to a forgotten creator. The archivist created this channel as a way to remember and relive the past, and through that passion, all that's been dug up is disturbing moments that were best left forgotten. The archivist spent so long digging into what once was, he discovered that things weren't even what they used to be. Ida wasn't nearly as innocent as we believed him to be. And
Oh, it's
one
him.
of the few
Okay.
videos that the archivist actually remembers fondly has been tainted beyond recognition. By dredging up the past, all
Oh
that's been done is
god.
resurfacing Ida's pain. Thankfully, the next Ida video to
What?
be
No,
uncovered
stop
is
it.
much more
Stop it.
lighthearted. In the map Blemmer, accessed through solving a quiz,
He's lapping the
video
pee-pee,
OMG
of the-
City
of the heavy.
Massacre was
Stop it.
uncovered. This video is a lot like Zombie Slayer. It's just Ida massacring a bunch of NPCs on a city map. Now there's the slightly psychopathic Ida that we all know and love.
Well,
Named
we'll not go that far, but
is notable for not even featuring a video made by Ida. Instead, within the files of this map lies something a bit more surprising.
okay. The Interloper mystery.
This is the first video on Interloper made by Anomi. Anomi has made quite a mark of his own on the F-Sky database. The final video to be found would be within
You
the
do not
files
wanna
of a
hear
map
that.
named Krishi. The map consists of a large crushing machine in a cube-like map. And yeah, I can already bet you can tell where this is going, because the machine is used for exactly what the hell you think it's for.
To crush my pee-pee? Oh no, to crush the NPC. Never mind.
Seriously, Ida, what was even the fucking point of this experiment? This would turn out to be the last item on a video to be found
Oh yeah,
on
mother.
the server. And with all
meant an important question. Do we ever learn why he was doing that? Like why he was torturing the Mon NPC? Or we never learned like exactly why? Well, yeah, okay. Could have been just left as he was just psychopathic.
These videos found, the investigators needed to assemble all the jigsaw pieces into a completed puzzle. The CGE
I remember. He thought she's his girlfriend or something. Extremely in love with her. I would assume it's because he felt betrayed by her, so he started torturing her, which is fucking wild. Otherwise, he's a psychotic, yeah. He's psychic damage? Damn. Didn't know he's
was active as well. He'd post updates semi-regularly on the progress being made, accompanied with small video updates. Through these updates, one thing was beginning to become clear.
I wonder if me smoking on stream lowers my reach.
To affect the Xbox
Curious. Never received a message, Jesus, or anything like that. So I would assume no, but
beginning to stutter. With the investigators on the edge of a breakthrough, something big was about to happen. In total, 7 Idamona videos would be found and recovered within the server. Each video that was uncovered contains a faint overlay of a decal texture within Half-Life 2.
Okay.
By assembling each video with their respective decal,
I would assume it makes a big picture.
And associating it to a correlated letter in ASC, it would spell out a new code that would take the users to the next phase of the search. Kjegel. While the investigators were loading into the new map, this video was recorded from a known
Come on, pronounce it correctly.
From the Xbox emulator.
God, that sound scares me. Kjegel, yes. That reminds me when me as a wee lad was crashing in games. Or when someone was scolding me.
The map had shifted to black to more closely resemble int menu. A new Semper model has appeared in front of the door.
Scary,
and
yucky.
most importantly, the key model has been angled towards the lock. The investigation was closing in on the finish line. As this was happening in the emulator, the investigators inside of the server would load into a new map titled...
I love the fact that everything we've heard so far with an A, with something next to it, is pronounced some sort of A, but the A word, even if it has a circle on top, is pronounced O. Why?
Subroutine hello, and upon
Hello.
entering, the users inside would be greeted by a familiar sight. Subroutine hello was a near perfect replica
Like gag reflex.
in the Xbox emulator.
What a precision wiki guy says it.
There was the Semper model, the door, the key.
Let me see if I can go back. I want to hear it again, chat. Oh, I can't. Why stop clipping it? Sorry.
And the lock. The investigators were so close to unlocking the door, but unfortunately, the TF2 mercs are too stupid to take their grubby mitts off of their weapon for 2 seconds to pick up
We
the
broke
key.
the world.
And with no way to use the key, it was impossible to place it inside of the lock.
Well, you can always
A short
shoot it
while
there.
After subroutine hello was discovered, the server would go offline. Although it wouldn't be for long, as the server would in time return to the browser. After CGP7 came back, users would notice some differences. The 2-fort map had been modified to remove the skybox.
No skybox
and
now.
Dying or using naughty swear words.
Naughty,
would instantly kick the player
naughty.
from the server. But the biggest change would come in the form of a new doorway inside of Ask. Upon breaking the
Ask.
doorway, the users would be taken to the strangest map seen
Ah.
in the server yet.
That's a cool sound for the shotgun, though. Sorry. While we're looking at the tab menu?
This map is
Or screen, I
maze,
guess?
maze,
More than
maze.
frog.
Although I'll just call
Ah.
it maze because I think saying it once is enough
I was about to say something diabolical.
to get the idea.
I'm glad I
across.
caught myself.
Maze is, as you guessed it, a giant maze. And dotted around the maze are 5 buttons, as well as multiple
I will not say it,
entities
no.
that also navigate the maze. The first entity is a large error sign that kicks the player from the server on contact.
Me when the error sign, me when the error
is a
sign.
large model of Dr.
Ah.
Green from Half-Life 2, who the AI in text chat refers to as
Ass.
Machine. Interesting.
I love the way he's
this
pronouncing-
is in reference to one of the first archive videos on the Ida Mona channel.
You mean Nikki
titled Green
Chaser.
in the Machine. A video of Ida tossing Dr. Green into a dismembering machine
God.
and chopping him
Why are we
into mincemeat.
torturing them
Even the
again?
most seemingly mundane videos on Ida's channel all seem to contribute to the story at large. The final entity inside of the maze is the most interesting. A blue cone. In Hammer, the cone's model name is Cone Helper. And the cone does in fact help, as touching it causes some very peculiar effects on the players in the server.
We're playing Kerbal Space
If a
Program
player were
chat.
to touch the blue cone, all players in the server would be renamed to Cone.
Also,
And a
Mint,
message
have you played Kerbal Space Program? If no, I recommend it. I think you will like
appeared
it.
from something named admin saying, "Shh, friend."
I
Along
personally
with
liked
these
it. I'm kind of
effects,
stupid, but I
the
liked
cone would
it.
trigger
Really.
a familiar piece of music as well. This sound effect is TV music. A short
Watch
musical
Michael Player.
snippet heard in Half-Life 2.
I recommend watching Martin Sitopants. Martin Sitopants played. He has 2 playlists. One of the playlists is his normal playthrough, which is kind of highly edited, and the other playlist is the non-edited one, which is on the hardest mod for the game. Both of them are extremely good.
And it also happens to be the same music heard in Interloper A. After it only
Interloper.
triggers the top-down perspective in the Project Skybox source mod. This same top-down perspective can also be seen in Gris, where the camera uses this angle to look down
Hold
at
up.
a cone. And what triggers the music in Maze? A cone. The entities weren't the only thing that made navigation inside the maze difficult. Touching any of the walls inside of the maze would kick you instantly
Oh,
from
damn.
the server, forcing you to restart from the beginning of the maze.
That's why
It
he's
would
holding
eventually be
tab
discovered
to see
that
the
way to
walls.
beat the maze is
Ah.
pressing the 5 buttons in order, making contact with the cone, and having a player sacrifice themselves to either the error sign or Breen.
Damn.
However, completing these steps was a long and arduous process, not only because of the complexity of the steps involved, but also because of the walls and entities kicking players. Just
Oh,
look
that's
at this
confusing.
detailed guide created by one of the users in Anomi's Discord.
Jesus.
To get an idea of how much coordination, skill, and brain power was needed to navigate the maze. We've seen
Brain.
mazes created by the generative map AI before.
The generative map
from
AI likes
episode
it, like
4 to
mazes
the
quite a lot for
Tuesday
some reason.
Manifest. But none of the mazes we've seen up until this point have been nearly as involved as this. After a lot of hard work and determination from the investigators, the maze would eventually be conquered.
Why is SpongeBob doing
The
there?
buttons would be pressed, the cone would be triggered, and the player would be sacrificed to Breen, triggering a map transition. And what the next map held was what they had been searching for the whole time: the root of the server anomaly.
Okay.
Welcome to Cone, 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 Cone. Despite the stark difference in visuals, this is actually the same maze from Maze, except now the walls have been made invisible. However,
Okay.
the most eye-catching feature of the map is in the center of the maze.
Why
A
does he
large
looks? Why
cone.
does he look
This
wet?
is what the investigators had been searching for all
This is
along.
Ayumi. Yeah.
This cone
Ayumi
houses the
Tuki.
intelligence that has been fueling the server.
Oh, it could be inspired by
This
that,
cone
especially with
is
all those different maps and worlds.
CGE-7193. While this has never been directly confirmed, I believe there's two possibilities for the cone's identity. This cone could be the
I mean,
first
even
DM
Yume
NPC
Nikki
we
was
ever
inspired by
saw.
Yume Nikki,
The
so
Elite Crew NPC from Sea Strike that tried to shoot the Umbrella Man with a Galil. After all, they share
Galil.
the exact same name. And we've been able to dig through a lot of files for multiple Type 5 demos, and no other DM NPC has shared this name. But perhaps the
Oh,
cone is
God.
Olive, or Mona. After
Mona.
all, merging with what appears to be their old body is what allowed for the creation of the server to begin with.
yes.
Nonetheless, no matter what the cone's identity is, it remains a fact that this cone has a massive amount of intelligence and data stored within itself. Digging into the map
Aw.
files of the cone map,
Aw.
there is a trigger signifying that the cone can
More
in fact
specifically.
be damaged, with multiple sound triggers with distressing names.
Mjön sentient
A
AI.
wind chime sound effect,
Ah.
my voice, a bell sound titled Hurts, and most alarmingly, a scream sound effect titled They Programmed Me to Die. It feels like we're finally starting to see the purpose of these mazes.
Yeah, I
the
think
AI
Mona
keeps building. If you'll
is
remember,
not liking
this
what it's
map from the
happening.
Tuesday Manifest features a maze with a large sphere at the end.
I
An F-Sky employee
don't think
even
it's a
pondered
maze,
why the
though. It's
sphere
just a
is the reward for successfully completing the maze. These
A
mazes were
plank.
not built as a way to reward
a weirdly
players,
shaped
but as a form
plank.
of protection against them, a way to deter players from hurting the vessels that house their intelligence. So it appears the investigators were left with a pivotal choice. Either spare the cone, or kill the cone and see what happens. Either way, things were going to be difficult. Touching the invisible walls in this maze doesn't just kick players, it bans them, preventing them from joining back.
Oh,
That
damn.
means users only have one shot to reach the cone before the map resets to 2 fort.
Oh,
It also
God.
means redoing the entirety of the first maze as well. As progress was made to reach the cone, the investigation would suddenly be interrupted as investigators were taken to a new map. It was called Please Kill. It's another small cube map, but when viewed in Hammer, you
Now,
can
the question is, was that map made by Mona or them psychopathic person? Because if it's the psychopathic person, maybe he wants us to kill Mona, or I guess the cone, so we don't learn, well, what the cone of truth wants to tell us. Which is even more messed up.
see that the entire map is enveloped in a trigger called Die Please Die. It seems that
Oh, yeah.
CGE-7 isn't the only force at play. There's possibly one or even more entities residing in the server, and something wants the cone dead. After an insane amount of work from the investigators on the server, they would eventually reach the cone map again. However, the cone had one last trick up its sleeve.
Where
to
the fuck is
protect
he
itself.
going?
Every player, except a user named Tadzi, were suddenly banned from the server upon entering. One
What?
user, with the help of the entirety of Anomi's Discord, would need to navigate the maze all by themselves and reach the cone.
I knew that I had one chance to do it all, and I was there. I was at the finish line. I was ready to set everything in motion, and I just let myself take over in that moment. I wasn't really
Okay.
scared. I was
Well, I'm not entirely sure what you're gonna be
Clear of
scared
mind.
of, but
had known what I wanted to do from the very start.
With the cone finally reached, it was time for Tadzi to make a choice. Naturally, he mercilessly slaughtered the cone with a pistol.
I wanted to go just completely balls off the walls and get really mad.
language, sir.
At that time, 10 days of work to get to this point. There's this kind of climax where every moving part is coming together. And I just knew. I immediately, instinctively knew.
CGE-7193 had now been effectively killed. The force that had been in control of the server, trying to protect itself, preventing its inevitable demise, had now been eradicated. And with its death came the shutting down of the server.
I mean,
However,
yeah.
The efforts of Tadzi and the investigators of Anomi's
Investigators.
Discord server were not in vain. As the cone died in TF2, the Xbox emulator would begin to react.
Oh, sorry. Holy fuck, we fired a nuke.
The door was finally unlocked.
Nice.
CGE7's death granted Anomi the server credentials to access something named Sourcebox. The build of the program is one from 1999, 5 years before the Source engine would even be publicly available through Half-Life 2. You may be surprised to hear that this isn't actually the first mention of Sourcebox in the ARG. It has been mentioned before, all the way back in the Episode 4 live stream. During the brief period, Anomi was able to generate interloper demos using Portal RTX.
Okay.
We can see within Portal RTX a string of chat messages. Among these messages are multiple mentions of Sourcebox. Warning, no serial key detected. Please enter a valid Sourcebox serial key.
Okay.
Authenticating key. Connected to Sourcebox.
Oh.
Over 2 years ago, Anomi was
Okay.
granted access to Sourcebox through Portal RTX, and we were none the wiser. And now, once again, Anomi's been given access through someone else's server credentials. And there's even more to it.
We're
I don't
stealing
know if you
data
noticed
now.
or not, as it's a bit of a small detail, but there is in fact some giant sensor bars on screen that cover up various.
Yeah, I
visual
did
text.
not did
In
not
spite of
notice
this,
them.
and I don't even know how much effort was needed to accomplish this. Anomi's Discord server was actually able to decipher nearly all of the censored text. Despite the rigorous attempt at censoring,
'Cause them are
you can
crazy
still
people.
Make out certain letters floating
Kudos
off
to them,
in
though.
different directions near the end of the clip. By observing the floating letters and tracing their paths, you can make out most of the
Jesus
censored message.
Christ.
Welcome back, Jeremy Jordan. Sourcebox version 3.2
Jordan.
1999 loaded. User JJordan1963. Host fsky.net.
Okay.
Jeremy Jordan.
JJ.
JJ. We now have confirmation that the JJ referred to in episode 1 of Interloper was
Oh,
a man
only 2.5
named Jeremy
hours.
Jordan, an employee or associate of F-Sky. Assuming the date in his username is his date of birth, he'd be approximately 62 years old today, which would mean he has a long
Jonathan
history at
Joestar.
F-Sky. In
Yes.
fact, his birthday in 1963 would
Yes,
place him
yes.
at 28 years
I don't
old
remember who
and
says that.
Digivisions in 1993. The Digivisions incident remains one of the weirdest events in the entirety of Interloper, but the discovery of JJ's identity gets us one step closer to the truth. Looking back towards Sourcebox, following its unlocking, Anomi's computer was filled with various files, mostly containing all the data from the server as well as demos of the server during the investigation. The entire time, everyone on the server was being watched and recorded. However, the most peculiar
Okay.
file we found in the aftermath came in the form of sourcebox.exe, an executable file. There's
Wait, Mint,
infinite
I just-
possibilities as to what this program.
I just got a question. How are people watching copyrighted stuff on Patreon without being, I guess, flagged as copyright issues? Because most people want money for you to subscribe to their Patreon, even $1, which means they make money from that. How does that work? I mean, I like that it works like that because one day I have quite a couple of ideas for Patreon content. But still, how? What the fuck?
Could contain. The solution could finally be in our hands after all this time. All that's left to do is boot it up and find out.
Yeah, let's boo it up. Boo! Oh, he said the
Very
thing.
underwhelming.
Okay, I admit that was a bit underwhelming. However, launching the executable did have an effect. It just wasn't as obvious as you would first expect. In the TIV2 community server browser, CGE7193 had once more become active.
Let's
Unfortunately,
go.
It was impossible to access because of a password locking
No.
users out of the server. Although the server couldn't be accessed through traditional means, it was still possible to get a peer inside of the server through Source TV, allowing users to spectate but not interfere. And when users got a look inside of the server, it was apparent something very unusual was happening. A lone scout with no cosmetics stood idly
Hello,
in place
AI.
where the cone had been shot not too long ago, with the username
Anomi.
Anomi.
Oh.
In one of the corners of the map, a ring shape could be seen as well. Eventually,
Oh, it's
Anomi
the one
himself would
ring.
be contacted by the members of his Discord about what was happening. As it turns out, Sourcebox.exe was functional, and it served as a controller. When using movement keys in the program,
Ooh.
the scout would move accordingly
Okay.
on the Tier 2 server. However, since
How
the
much
program was
fucking
completely dark,
time did it took Anomai? I still cannot pronounce his name correctly. To make all of that. Holy fuck. Kudos to that person. Jesus.
and Anomi found himself in the middle of a maze, he needed the users inside of the Discord to guide his way to the ring.
Anomi died. There we
After
go.
a nerve-wracking
Thank
expedition through the
you,
invisible
random
maze,
Discord
Anomi would reach the ring and enter subroutine
screen.
Hello, the map with the locked door. Still being guided by the Discord, Anomi would proceed through the doorway with the Sourcebox client, and once he reached it, the scout would freeze in place and disconnect shortly after. Let's examine what just happened here.
Okay,
Anomi
he
was given
teleported to
access a program that
another
consists of
server?
a blank screen, which
Question
is
mark?
used to control a pawn, and that pawn has the ability to cross a doorway that freezes the program. The program, while open, also creates a server that can be joined while in a source game.
Okay.
The Sourcebox program shares a heaping amount of similarities to Portal RTX, and considering the fact that
Portal.
RTX was connected to Sourcebox the entire time,
It kind of
appears
functioned the same
that
way, I
through
guess.
Anomi's investigation, he had somehow completely unintentionally converted Portal RTX into a bootleg Sourcebox of sorts.
Damn.
After Anomi
The writing
crossed
is
the doorway,
good, though.
The server would reopen to all players with a new key difference. Anomi has completely replaced CGE7193. The chatbot now uses the name Anomi, and the cone on cone has adopted the name as well. Another important difference is
Oh,
that
God.
with the server now being tied to Anomi's PC, it now functions offline when run locally by Anomi.
Okay.
Before, since the server was being hosted by an outside source, it was impossible to test the server while its maps were run offline. But now that Anomi's hosting the server, as well as having easy access to subroutine Hello, Anomi is able to
Subroutine
employ
Hello.
a simple trick to finally slot the key into the lock.
Let's go.
And I can actually pick up the key.
How? We're playing in VR, I guess?
Let's see what happens.
Eh.
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 Huh?
Switching
I guess that
source.
answers that question.
Something. I
This
read
is
slowly.
the true Sourcebox program. The program consists of a simple menu with 3 buttons represented by shapes. When the cube is clicked, it will turn blue and start rotating. The
Okay.
sphere, when clicked,
What
brings
in
up an error
the
on
Rusty
screen
Lake?
denoting no graphics drivers. The error mirrors a similar one seen in Interloper C when Anomi pressed F11 in the Project Skybox source mod.
Okay.
This is likely due to the long stretch of time.
Welcome to
between when these
Sourcebox.
programs were
Thank
created
you.
and the
I don't
modern
like
day
it
in which
here.
they're
Please
being
take me away.
used. But by far the most
Please, chat.
interesting-
Take me behind the room and falsely introduce LED at well, higher than the speeds of sound to my brain, please.
function is the cone.
Cone. Math. Oh,
Seems to be
okay.
a tracker.
We don't know
It's following
what
the
any of these does.
entity for the
Okay.
source void that the program refers to
Naruhodo.
as interlope.dme.
The DME.
in the name actually refers
This is the
to a
source
demo
void.
file.
Jesus.
Demos, of course, being one of the central points of interest in the mystery. The entity seems to be aimlessly drifting through the source void at a constant pace, with an unknown purpose. If
I would
anyone
assume
has
that's
one.
the kind of the
While we
maps
can't
we've
really tell
seen.
what this mysterious entity really is,
You're just gonna
we
do all
can
the
at
Souls
least
games,
see
yeah.
where it's located, as its whereabouts are constantly updated by the XYZ coordinates. It's with this revelation that Interloper E finally comes to a close. However, after the video would be uploaded and the investigation on CGE7193 seemed to have concluded,
The source
another
visual,
strange
let's
arc for the
fucking
server would
go.
begin. And what would follow is one of the most cryptic, strange sagas in the Interloper mystery yet.
Why is the hand of God here?
I am wizard, and I banish you to permanent death. He's gone. He's gone. He's dead. Sorry. Killing the
What? Why did we summon the Spanish Inquisition? No one expected that. Also, chat, I will attempt, well, try to, but we're Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, days of the week are hard. On Wednesday, we're starting an Elden Ring randomizer, because I really want to try a randomizer for that game, or for any kind of Souls-like game. So we're starting on Elden Ring with a randomizer, and I'm excited.
In May of 2025, Anamade would upload a teaser for Interloper E. After this teaser was uploaded, CGE 7193 would change yet again. Two Fort had once more been distorted, and now operated on a cycle. No longer would the door teleport you to just Ask. There were now 3 different maps that would trigger after opening the door.
God, I love the way he's pronouncing. I love the way how he's pronouncing that word. I don't know why. Ask.
A new version of Ask with 2 new doors leading to new maps.
I don't know what the correct way is to pronounce it, but I fucking love it.
It looks like a carbon copy of the camera-esque maps Anomi made for Interloper 7, right down to the pinprick in the wall to absorb light. On its own, the map seemed useless. Made outside of this singular room. But
camera.
Perhaps the other doorway would prove more useful.
Nope.
This map is called Ordnance, and the next phase of the investigation
never mind.
will revolve almost entirely around it. It consists of a multitude of buttons laid out onto the floor in a controller-like format.
Do not harm. I do no harm.
So their function is completely unknown. So in times of confusion, the investigators...
Why are we holding Karl Marx?
Press random doodads until something interesting happens. From here, players would once more be taken to view, but this time with a new message. I am calculating. Hours later, the map would update, and onto the wall would be projected a short clip.
That hurts my ears.
In the clip, the POV can be observed moving accordingly to the inputs pressed in Ordnance. As it turns out, the investigators were controlling an entity inside of the void. Unlike other expeditions in the void held
forward, backwards, left, right, and maybe the middle one is jump.
Under the control of the community. The map of Ordnance functioned like an input device. Think of it like a large, flattened out Xbox controller. There was the standard directional inputs, as well as 3 special buttons. Once you input a series of actions you wanted the POV to perform, you would press the render button.
Oh!
You would be teleported to Ord Ren.
Look at them big camera.
For a render to be finished. After the wait, your patience was rewarded.
That's
as you
cool.
get to see what your inputs in Ordnance resulted in inside of the source void. This method of exploration was insanely tedious due to the amount of time it took to make renders, as well as the convoluted
Holy
control
fuck.
scheme that even to this day still isn't fully understood. But even despite all of the inconveniences, this was still a new way to navigate the void. And it was the first time the community had ever gotten to explore it for themselves.
Hell yeah.
But this exploration was in the community's hands, and it meant the stakes were higher than ever, as slipping up could potentially render Ordnance unusable.
Oh no. Beep.
In the renders, you can recognize various motifs from throughout the Interloper series. Hint nodes can be placed by the user, and the pawn will move towards them like a DM NPC. The 3-point axis is also present in many renders. This could be hinting at the likely possibility that Ida's control method that he showed in his video was similar to what we're doing now through Ordnance. The pawn can even possess other entities in the void. Throughout the Ordnance investigation, one user by the name of Luna would take on the effort of archiving all of the view renders.
I don't know who that character is, but cute.
All of the renders onto a website called GAC9, where they can still be viewed today.
Hi, I'm Lizkit, the creator of GAC9. I joined the Interloper investigation shortly after Interloper D got released and was an active investigator during the Colks mystery. After the server was found, I decided to add a maps section to the website with downloads and descriptions of the maps we discovered on the server and how we found them. This was mostly because the only other place where the maps were being archived was in Discord messages, and I know how easily they can get lost in a sea of messages in a big server like Anomalous Materials. When the Ordnance investigation started, I created the view page, which was a collection of all the renders that we started getting from the CGE server. This was mostly because I wanted people to have a central page for viewing all the renders that we got from the server, and gather all the information that we had into one page. Another community member named Sector was a big help with this and set up a bot to automatically scrape the views.
Sorry, I just noticed we don't have subtitles.
One strange anomaly encountered early into the exploration came in the form of a large hand that appeared to be trying to guide the pawn. It's visually similar to this strange feminine entity seen in Interloper C, although any relation between the two is hard to draw. A much more definitive breakthrough would occur starting at the 123rd render.
Damn.
In this render, a small contraption can be seen shrouded in darkness. And in the next render, investigators decided to approach the machine. And it's revealed to be none other than one of Anomi's void exploration drones seen in episode 7.
It crashed.
It's come a very long way and landed on a map in the void. But in the next render, something went suddenly and terribly wrong.
I am not entirely sure what I'm looking
Investigators
at.
decided to use the pawn's ability to possess the drone, which successfully allowed it to be controlled. However, shortly after flying off, the drone would be revealed to be piloted by a Combine Elite model. The Combine hijacked control of the drone and began flying off towards an unknown destination. But before we can see where, he drunk drives himself right into a boulder on Dust Bowl, causing the drone and the pawn to spiral downward. However, the encounter with the drone seems to have internally broken something, as after rendering view 139, the users wouldn't be taken to view as they were expecting to. Instead, the investigators were taken to a new map named Ord Error.
We're sorry, your request cannot be...
style map. It's bright red and a large error model looms over the player. When loading into the map, you also receive a message.
Please redefine me.
Your request cannot be heard due to unhandled expectations. Please redefine me. When this map loaded, all players except a scout named Alistair would be kicked from the server, leaving Alistair completely alone. And then the server started a dialogue with them. The AI at point speaks with the mannerisms that we've come to expect from interloper entities, with random smiley faces. And it also has quite the potty mouth. At one point, the server even makes an odd remark about stuffing someone in a box and shipping them to New Orleans.
Them expectations.
The server also makes statements in quotation marks that are much more natural sounding. To Ordnance Note, our handler is shit and we really need to ask an engineer to fix our handles table. To Ordnance Note, this fucking thing is filled with ants. Do not, under any means, plug it into internet computer.
Oh no.
These read like angry notes from a disgruntled employee.
That seems like
the server is presumably
the dev codes
in
the dev messages in codes.
After the strange encounter on Ord Error, Ask would receive another strange change. This archway behind all of the other doors previously did not function. However, after the encounter with the drone and Ord Error, entering the doorway would trigger a map change. This transition led to a map that the community nicknamed Vol. The map is a corridor ending in an area highlighted by a spotlight.
Volley,
when first loaded into, all of the investigators inside of the server were in a scramble to see what the map was.
Naruto!
A very chaotic moment.
I am not entirely sure what the fuck is happening. It's exceptions. I mean, it's the same thing, chat. Come on now. Expectations, exceptions, the same thing.
In the midst of all the commotion, a user named Vertical, playing as a red scout, reached the end of the hallway first and was rewarded by dying instantly. The map also gave players a
Naruto!
Gishiki desu spave gisa I naru tuko ro di Zu?
Naruto!
Okay, it's a bit of a mouthful, but you may recognize the word spade, which just so happens to be the name of that strange void entity in Interloper C that really
Maybe either he's talking to us or someone is talking to us about him.
If you take this seemingly meaningless message and interpret spave instead as a space, you can see that the message is actually in Japanese. Once translated, it reads,
Gishiki desu. Gisei na... Gisei? Gisei Naruto... Na, Gisei na? Oh, what?
it is a ritual. It is time to make a sacrifice.
Oh,
Vertical
naruhodo.
just sacrificed themselves. And the next time a render was entered into Ordnance, the investigators would find out just what that sacrifice entailed.
We summoned God.
The pawn had taken on the form of the Red Scout sacrificed in Vol.
Oh, that's where the shot starts from, I guess.
Well. Using this new scout pawn, investigators would continue searching the void until an encounter with a spinning bird attacked the pawn and killed the scout.
You
Like I
spin
said,
me
this
right
shit
round,
is
baby,
weird.
right
The next pawn
round.
would come in the form of a spy player with the Dead Ringer equipped with this steam name Hunter. Strangely,
Hunter.
after Hunter sacrificed himself
hunter
in Vol,
must
the
hunt.
pawn adopted the form of a hunter from Left 4 Dead. This showed that not only would your in-game loadout change
Oh.
with Ordnance, but your username would as well. The Hunter
Okay.
even had the Dead Ringer equipped.
Yeah.
And oh my god, the
Zombie with the
Dead
Dead
Ringer made it into
Bringer.
the source void. Even in the furthest reaches of the source engine, I can't escape this freaking item.
Of course
The
you can't.
investigators would proceed to churn through more sacrifices as they ventured further into the void. In one particularly interesting moment, a pawn of shell with the force of nature would enter a beach-like map with a floating
I can't
cone.
see
Strangely, in the
shit.
reflection of the water, the traffic cone almost looks red. Shortly after,
I
the
guess,
pawn
bro.
would stumble onto the same large hand from earlier, which would suddenly snatch the pawn up and carry it elsewhere. This
Eee.
encounter with the hand would lead to the strangest render yet. A feminine figure in a bright red dress.
Wait, that's
saying
the,
hello to us. After this encounter,
that's the lady
a
that
new
helped
pawn
us.
would need to be inserted into Vol. And when that pawn violently exploded, the feminine figure made yet another appearance. What the hell is this? The next player to sacrifice themselves would set their Steam name to be that of the entity name of the key in subroutine hello, which would create a strange interaction
KGEGLFV.
in Ordnance.
Why were you slow clapping?
It was becoming increasingly apparent that the user's
Did we stab
Steam
him with the
name was
key?
just as, if not more important, than the loadout they had equipped in-game. So noticing this, a player would enter one of the most important names in the series, Olive. Throughout the
Olive,
sacrificing
oh.
process, it would also create messages in the server as well. The message would state the player, their in-game loadout, the date they died, which strangely always happened to be in 2008, as well as a statement about being reborn in the machine.
Oh,
Well, as it would come
God.
to be, Olive would be the final pawn to be used in Ordnance.
Ooh.
And the in-game message had changed as well. I am Service. I died on December 31st, 2099, and then respawn in the machine. Unlike all of the other
Okay,
death
Ghost in-
dates, which were
okay,
listed
Ghost
as
in the
being
Machine.
2008, this death date was listed far off into the future. The message also does not refer to the
I mean,
player
70
by their
years.
username, opting instead to use the name Service. When using the Olive Pawn in Ordnance, it had taken on the form of a player info start, the model used to indicate spawn points in the Hammer editor.
Okay.
The pawn also seemed to be holding onto the key that had been acquired earlier. But
Ooh.
what did it unlock?
No
Within
idea.
the source void, the investigators realized that they had stumbled upon the Ravenholm alleyway. However, within the alley, there
Oh,
was no
the one with
decal.
the graffiti.
Instead, there was a locked door. A door that would be unlocked with the key. And as the pawn entered the door, they would be bathed in light until
Oh.
the investigators were no longer in control of a pawn. Instead, they had entered what appeared to be a strange painting tool, entirely different from every other
Oh,
render.
God.
This painting tool functioned akin to an Etch-a-Sketch. The investigators would proceed to make a series of inputs into Ordnance, drawing a shape before closing the drawing tab down. In the midst of all the cryptic weirdness of Ordnance,
Okay.
There lies a drawing tool of all things.
Oh yeah.
Well, despite seeming like such a random event,
PowerPoint.
there's actually some
No,
connections to be
wait.
drawn here. First, observe
Yes.
the top-down angle seen in the drawing tool. The angle and square shape of the canvas, along with the checkerboard texture,
Okay.
matches the point of view seen in Gris. It can be reasonably
Oh, yeah, it
inferred
does.
that the drawing tool in Ordnance is
Didn't
actually
even-
a relic
didn't
of
even
the
notice
Paint
it.
Atlas
Hello,
tool
Hannah.
seen in the Gris toolbar. As far
Okay.
as what the Paint Atlas tool accomplished, the next render from Ordnance would serve
One
as
moment,
a
chat.
hint. The info player start pawn was now facing away from the spot where the Umbrella Man decal
That red
spawns.
cross is bugging my. Stop
However,
it.
as the investigators tried to use Ordnance to continue the investigation, things would come to a screeching halt.
Okay. Please plug in valid input device. Oh. Oh, it's an NPC.
This is Ord N.
What?
Along with this
we're
map came a message for the
we're
server.
facing the wrong direction now.
Please plug in a valid input
Oh no, we're
device.
leaving the atmosphere.
As the name implies, the Ordnance expedition had come to a surprising close. The input device the investigators had been using up until this point had vanished from the server. Despite being the end of the Void expedition, there's still an interesting secret hidden in the map. In the center is yet another error sign. Digging into the
course.
map in Hammer, it's revealed that the error model is actually a DM NPC. The DM NPC is using a female civilian model.
Oh.
In fact, it's the very same female civilian model Ida used to represent Mona. An even stranger
no.
fact is that the entity's name is Container. We've seen this word pop
Oh,
up a couple
no.
times throughout the series. Most notably, in this map from the Tuesday Manifest that contains these jail cell-esque buildings. Through episode 8 of Ida's ghost hunting series, it's been confirmed that these cubes were built as containers for sentient
Hannah.
entities. However, these entities lack a physical form, so containing them within a shape is the best way to keep them secured. However, these entities also have the ability to possess objects, just like we saw in Ordnance. And through this possession process, the formless entity can be given a form. Take another
God
look at
damn them lore
Ordnance.
running
If
deep.
the map seems familiar, it's because it's startlingly close to the ending of
Oh,
Interloper C,
2 more
when
hours.
Sky Ghost merged with the Cone Lady. I believe that this is the area where the two merged, or at least a recreation of the scene. The merging of the two entities is what led to the creation of the server, and now, here at the end of the server's investigation, we find ourselves right back where we started. But thanks to the
In the
efforts
void?
of Luna and her website GAC9, you can still experience CGE 7193 for yourself. Here, every Ordnance render has been archived, as well as the files for all of the maps found within the server. It's an invaluable resource for researching the Interloper mystery, and I highly recommend giving it a look for yourself, as it's a very fascinating deep dive. However, even if this is where the investigation into CGE 7193 ended, it's not where the Interloper investigation would end. 2 months after the investigators reached Ord End, the Ida Mona channel would begin re-uploading a strange series of lost videos that had been forgotten for over a decade.
Okay.
It's a word that's weighed heavily on the minds of anyone who's dug deep into the Interloper mystery. This gibberish word keeps propping up in secret places throughout the series, hidden in single frames of videos and even appearing
I don't think
on a
it would be
sign
that
within the
deep,
void
but
itself. Up until this point, we haven't had the slightest notion of what this word could even mean. However, thanks to the Ida Mona archive, we could be one step closer to finding out. During
Can we, though?
October of 2014, Ida would upload a series of 7 videos titled Spies Test to his YouTube channel. Luckily for us, the archivist has been able to acquire all 7 parts.
Let's
Through the
go.
re-uploads of this series, we can hopefully decipher their meaning. The description of the first Spies Test includes 2 notes, one from Ida himself and another from the archivist.
Jesus.
They read as follows. Ida's description. The sound at the end means it's listening now.
Oh
Archivist
God.
note. This one stayed up for a week or so, probably. In the video, Ida is playing Gary's mod. He has spawned in a large shipping container and filled it with explosive barrels.
Hey, we didn't crash.
At the bottom of the shipping container is a cube. The explosives didn't seem to have the effect on the small
Maybe
cube
there was an
Ida
NPC.
wanted.
There's
So he
definitely an
begins a second
NPC.
experiment by tethering a washing machine to a platform and using thrusters to smash down onto the cube.
Oh, I think that
Strangely,
worked.
This action triggers a game crash. In a previous Ida video, he whacked a soda can with a crowbar for an hour straight. This video chronologically takes place a month before that incident. So we can see that Ida's small prop hyperfixation tendencies have been a long-standing thing.
I think
In
that
Spy's Test 2,
that box may
Ida's original
be
description for the video is
maybe
only
Mona?
2 words. It's work. In this video, we can see Ida once again
Oh, are we drowning her again?
Texture cube. This time, however, he's conducting the experiment by running Gary's mod through the DM editor. And
Okay.
this change in the experiment alters the outcome from just a simple game crash to something much more intriguing. Once the cube begins its activation, the screen goes through a sort of printer-like transition.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that cube is Mona kinda controlling the cube, or at least possessing it. Yep. Hey, he's a Roblox person. Forgot its name. John Roblox, I think.
And once fully transitioned, we can get a look at a feminine figure with red hair
Oh, never mind.
wearing a red dress.
Is a
While it's
lady
not
that helped
the
us.
exact same model, the resemblance to the mysterious red lady in the void is unmistakable. What is this entity, and why have we encountered it over 10 years after Ida first did? In the last 2 seconds of the video,
Oh, 'cause you're
for a
still
brief
alive?
moment, a familiar sound can also be heard. This sound is the same audio heard while using the tracking feature in Sourcebox. Although the program is never shown on screen, Ida has gotten his hands onto a cracked copy of Sourcebox just like Anomi did. Sourcebox is likely what's fueling Ida's experiments with these strange cubes.
What
and
is
it's aided
feeding
him in
the psychopathy
discovering
though?
this
I
strange
want to
red
know
lady.
that. So we can
Perhaps this
stop
red
it.
lady is what his copy of Sourcebox was tracking. Well, I hope you didn't grow too attached to them, because in the very next Spies test, Ida immediately starts doing what Ida does best. Just 3 days after meeting the Red Lady, he's already strapping her to a torture device of unimaginable horrors. The test he's performing here seems to be an extension of the washing machine experiment seen in the first test. However, instead of smashing the cube with the washing machine, he's smashing the Red Lady with a whole-ass train Omni-Man style.
Hello,
As far as this strange cube goes, you can also see it tethered to the Red Lady's model. But before smashing the lady with the
cube
train,
is driving.
he also spawns in a female civilian model right in front of her. It seems his goal is to smash the model of the Red Lady with the female civilian model he uses for Mona.
Why?
Through this merging process, he seems to be attempting to create his ideal shell or container for Mona to inhabit. However, this particular experiment seems to be a dud, as nothing triggers and the video ends. The description of this upload also gives some important insight into Ida's backstory as well.
These videos seem to have been saved by a couple people who used to harass Ida back in 2014. Apparently, this was because they would make Ida poops and send them via Steam messages. I was able to get a hold of one who had video 3 of 7. I'll try getting into contact with the others and see if they still have the rest.
During his stint as a content creator, Ida underwent a harassment campaign from his detractors. The barrage of mockery he received no doubt contributed to his volatile mindset and the inhuman acts he inflicted upon Mona. Perhaps these deranged experiments served as some sort of venting process for him. The next Spies test follows
But NPC did not deserve that, what the fuck?
This time from within the DM
What they did
editor.
to you?
In the video, Ida attempts to merge the Red Lady with a burnt corpse model from Half-Life 2.
Ew,
However, the
man.
merging process goes awry, and Ida presses the delete button. Interestingly, the description notes that Ida found a castle here. This seems to be hinting that these cube experiments serve as a way for exploring the void. But as far as what this castle map is,
Not entirely sure how torturing the NPC leads to exploring the void, but I guess.
Test, it seems Ida has gone for a honey over vinegar approach. According to the description of the upload, the Red Lady apparently reacts well to music. From
Well, no shit.
We already know that the interloper entities react strongly
Who
to
would have
auditory
guessed?
stimuli. So in this test, Ida brings a radio inside of the DM editor.
Who the
plays
fuck is that in the
song
background?
Exile Vilify by The National. It's a song featured on the Portal 2 soundtrack. And after listening to it myself, I gotta say the Red Lady has some good taste in music. The song's pretty darn good. The video continues with the Red Lady listening to the song, but something
She's
strange
A-posing.
appears to happen around the 3
Because I don't know
minute mark.
T-pose.
From the right side of the screen, you can see a limbless figure begin to approach slowly. The grainy video quality makes it hard to see, but once close enough, you can see that this figure is unmistakably the mannequin body Mona inhabits near the end of its lifespan. That chronologically makes this the first appearance of Mona's mannequin body. In the description of the video, Ida refers to this limbless body as the Spies, finally giving us an idea for what the word can mean. By the looks of it, Ida's idea of a Spies is a vessel for containing spirits, as and his goal with these experiments
kind of makes
is to give
sense.
the
I guess
vessel
he's
some
reasoning.
limbs to be more like the Red Lady. After a while of the Spies and the Red Lady giving each other an awkward stare down, Ida exits from the cube-induced game state back into Gary's mod. Although with no context, it's hard to tell what Ida's purpose with this experiment was. If I had to hazard a guess, it looks like he was using the Red Lady as a bait of sorts to attract the Spies. Going into the penultimate test, hopefully we can
Also
get a better
kind of
understanding
see
of this
if
merging
there is gonna be any
process
reactions, I guess.
for this test, Ida has returned to the Gary's Mod Ragdoll torture
Oh,
map
no.
last seen in Breen in the Machine. Because of course he would do that. Ida positions both the female civilian Ragdoll as well as the Red Lady
why?
beneath a cone-shaped drill device. He activates the drill, and as it begins to dig into both Ragdolls, he triggers the cube. His goal here seems to be to literally throw two models into a blender to combine them. But as far as the results of this experiment go, they're a bit distressing, to say the least.
He created life. It's moving at least.
Well, Ida did accomplish giving the Spies limbs, but in the most horrific way possible. Through the blending
Well,
of the
it's
two
missing a
models,
couple, I
the
guess.
Spies has had a pair of legs grafted onto it, but the model's arms were not successfully attached. They fly off the moment they're loaded in. The rapid chirping of Mona indicates that this process is extremely discomforting and painful.
Well, no
Not even
shit.
during the neck snapping incident did Mona sound nearly this distressed. This video is made all the more gut-wrenchingly horrifying, knowing that after this upload, Mona would only continue to endure more and more torture at the hands of Ida. Right above Mona's
Why is Ida not in a
disfigured
psycho
body,
chat?
a large gray cone can be seen. If cones truly are vessels that contain the intelligence of the AI entities, then this could be Mona's cone, forced to have its sentience transferred into this abomination of a shell. If you want to view Spy 6 for yourself, you'd be surprised to see that the upload isn't actually on the archive channel.
Oh.
In fact, we're lucky to be able to view it at all. That's because only 1 minute after being uploaded, the archivist deleted the re-upload of Spy 6. The 6th Spies test was only archived because the interloper community
Oh, no,
had
never
set
mind,
up
they're
a
not
bot
6.
to automatically
There's 7 of
download
them,
videos from the
which means that
channel.
it gets
Ever
worse.
since I had the maps page, the essence of GAC9 changed from a joke into an archival page. From memes the community made to maps, GAC9 has always been the website to archive them all. And one of the last things I managed to archive on GAC9 was the Spice Test videos. I vividly remember archiving Spice 6, which is a now deleted video. We were sitting on stage while waiting for the next Spice video to drop as it was set to release that night. At this point, I had already set up a bot that alerted everyone the second Nomi or the Ida archive channel uploaded any video, and as soon as the release message was sent, I copied the URL and downloaded the video as per usual. This happened right before it was deleted, which I only noticed as I went to actually watch and stream the video on the Discord stage. I started sending the video around and gave it to my friend Vertisol for them to re-upload onto YouTube, which later got added to the GAC9 website along with every other Spice Test video just for convenience sake.
Thanks to the community's efforts once more, you can view the 6th Spies test on GAC9. But in a shocking twist
Oh, that was archived last year.
shortly after the deletion of Spies Test 6, the archivist would upload a video titled Important Update.
Shortly after the latest upload, someone reached out to me, claiming to be a family friend of Ida Machinima. They very kindly reached out to explain more private details about Jan, and gave me further context regarding what was happening back in 2009 to 2016.
They were in a psych ward?
Politely asked me to stop
Hopefully.
uploading his old videos. Out of respect to Jan, his friends, and his family, I will not be uploading any more videos here. Please do
I will
not
just
send
be
me
sending
any
them
more
on the
videos of
Discord.
his, and I also humbly ask you not to re-upload them yourself either. I was always a fan of Jan's old Gmod videos, and originally I just wanted to preserve it. However, recently I've lost the point. I've probably uploaded things here that were best left in the past. For that, I'm sorry. Again, I'm sorry about any trouble I've caused.
Man, how
Just
many
like
people
that,
worked on the ARG, or is
archivist who had been
it just
devoted
one?
to re-uploading all of Ida's videos suddenly stopped. Even though the archivist made it clear previously that they had the video file for the 7th Spies test in their possession, they now refuse to upload it. The
Oh,
contents
no.
of that video will forever remain a mystery.
No.
It could be inferred that the final Spies test resulted in the body being given the arms we'd see in its final days. But as far
Where
as
are the
Ida's
legs, though,
experiment
in the
with
final
Sourcebox
days?
and what became of the Red Lady, we'll never really know. With the archivist out of operation, one of the most vital leads in the Interloper investigation had tragically been cut off just as we were on the verge of a breakthrough, which means our only insight into Interloper going further would be from Anomi's work with the Project Skybox Collective. Anomi would begin teasing Interloper F, the final video in the series. The final installment of Interloper contains the most information out of any
Wait, the
episode
last
in the
one?
series by far, as well as boasting the longest runtime. I highly recommend watching it for
Holy.
yourself first.
That's from this
Believe
year
me,
as well.
the 2-hour-long emotional gut punch that is this video isn't gonna hit the same by just watching me break it down. So go, watch the video, interlope all over your screen, and come back here.
Excuse me,
And
so
when
what
you're
fuck you
done,
mean by that?
Let's begin my analysis.
You interlope over my screen. Okay. Mint, where is the shot?
Your lust for knowledge changed your body. Are you strong enough to do what it takes to change it back?
What? Oh, we have the new game to play with now. How are we going into the MOBAs now? Oh, he killed everyone. Okay. Interloper F.
Seemingly at
Untitled
random,
by
the
Nomida.
stream would be
It's,
hijacked
example
by Project
E.
Skybox. The purpose of this hijacking seems to be to expose Anomi for going behind the collective's back. They present an example of this by showing a capture method performed without disclosure. What follows this interruption is an over hour-long screen recording of the Sourcebox program from Anomi's point of view. This is our longest look at the tracking feature yet, and with this extended view, we can notice an odd feature of the tracker that we haven't seen before. Periodically, and for varying lengths of time, all sound will cut out as the message "pull" appears on screen.
Pull or pull? Pull. Pull? Pull?
These pulls can last anywhere from a few seconds to over 5 minutes. These intermissions seem odd at first, however, there seems to be a reasonable explanation for it all. Consider that the entity that's being
We also see
tracked in
coordinates
Sourcebox
here,
is called
which I would assume is where the NPC is.
interlope.dfe. Also consider that the console commands to generate interloper demos are interlope
Oh yeah, we were
and
pulling
git
them.
s interlope pull 27015. From what we can gather from this stream, Anomi has regained access to the ability to generate interloper demos.
Okay.
And the entity being tracked in the void referred to by Sourcebox
Man, how close
as
are we
interlope.
to... I guess today's version of the ARG? Or that's the newest ones? We have a couple more chapters.
DME is where the demos are being pulled from. I think it's
No
extremely
idea. What do you mean, no
likely
idea?
that interlope.dme is a cone, and the source of all interloper
I would assume
demos.
we're relatively close
From
because the video itself is.
CGP7 server,
I think it
we
was
know that
real.
cone
Yeah, it
entities
was
are
3 weeks
intelligent and
old,
capable
so
of
that's
containing
should be
vast
relatively
amounts of data. The cone in that server contained data of Ida's old videos.
close to now,
and
like
a
3 months, 4
multitude
months,
of
something
map
like that.
files, both old and new. Operating under the assumption that interlope.dme is also a cone, it seems to contain lots and lots of demo files. Possibly since the beginning of the series, Anomi has been pulling demos from the entity using the interlope console commands.
Okay.
In this stream, after an excruciating number of pulls, an unknown object comes into view and triggers the following strange interaction.
Oh, that's a camera. I think. At least. Someone died.
And after that, the stream would end. This cryptic stream would serve as the last droplet of lore before going into the series finale. As later that day, Interloper F would finally drop. It opens with an ominous message from Anomi.
Is it already
Do
finished?
not attempt anything in this video.
Okay.
Interloper C is the only other episode of the series to include a similar disclaimer.
I don't
and
think it
serves
was.
as
You
a
mentioned
direct
it's still going, I
parallel
think.
to Ida's ghost investigation. At the start of the series, Anomi presented himself as a stoic, unfazed narrator. In the early videos of the series, he hardly ever even spoke at all. Over the course of the series, though, that facade, that mask of the uncaring narrator has slowly whittled down. He's become more vocal, more openly interested in the investigation. He's become emotionally
Well, now
tied up,
the company's
just
paying him
like
more,
Ida
so.
has. For Ida, that path of obsession led to self-destruction.
Nah,
mental
it
collapse,
led to
and
psychopathy, not
As
self-destruction.
for what Anomi's obsession will lead to, well, I guess we'll just have to watch and see.
He's not a droid to self-destruct.
The episode follows up on Anomi doing something we've become very accustomed to.
What is that game? Half-Life? Oh yeah, that's Half-Life.
Match until
Yeah.
something interesting happens.
Never played
And
Half-Life,
indeed,
anything than
something
Half-Life 1.
does happen.
Oh, Morse code. Beep boop.
Despite not being November, Ravencheck activates. If you forgot, it's a program set up by the Project Skybox Collective that checks for the Umbrella Man graffiti in Ravenholm every night. Well, something was detected, but it's not what we've come to expect. Now, this may be obvious,
path?
but that is not the Umbrella Man graffiti.
What do you mean? It is. You can see the umbrella. You can.
The anomalous decal that replaced the Umbrella Man.
Come on, you can see the umbrella. You can see the man. You can see his giant pee-pee. I don't know why his giant pee-pee curves to the left and holds the umbrella, but it happens.
That was drawn in ordnance via the view renders. Along with the decal change, in the alleyway, a small gray cube can be spotted as well. That's not where the oddities end either. The decal in the alleyway is not meaningless. It does signify a change. The interlope commands are once more functional, and demos can be pulled again. But the demos that are pulled with the command are unlike anything we've ever seen before.
Ding. Ding. Why are we hearing bells? Are we dying?
Is a Type 7 demo. I'll just call them sphere-type demos for reasons I think are pretty obvious.
Why? I can't grasp why.
Similar to Type 2 demos.
Are we in
However,
Blender right now?
Because
Those spheres look exactly like
As well as
Blender
the
spheres.
There's also a repeating bell sound effect in the background. It's the same bell sound that those head entities were making in the
Hello,
Office
head.
Type 5
Why is
demo.
the game giving me
Things are made
headshot? What the
even
fuck?
weirder by the fact that sphere-type demos are almost exclusively the only demos the interlope command will pull anymore.
Okay.
These sphere-type demos most likely relate to the sphere button within Sourcebox. Due
Why
to
did you press the
driver
other Putin?
incompatibility, the function of that button is still unknown. But considering how linked Sourcebox
Maybe
is with the
changes the
Source
visuals?
engine, these demos can give us an idea of how the sphere button functioned. Ever since the activation of Sourcebox, Anomi's games have been acting off in other ways as well. While exploring a favorite map of his and Gary's mod, Anomi swears he can hear a sound that's not supposed to play while inside of that map. Shortly after, he also notices a banging metal sound as well.
Oh no, he's
heard
going to
far off
Alia's
in the
chat.
distance, way outside the boundaries of the map. Sure enough, after flying to the sound, It becomes louder and louder until it can be heard clear as day.
Okay.
After Anomi tries to shoot towards the sound,
What? Just out here in the void? It's like... right here?
Go ahead and shoot it. We killed something.
the game crashes. After the encounter, Anomi finds that these sound anomalies only occur while the Sourcebox program is open, confirming that it's responsible for the influx of weird occurrences in his
Oh, I
source
think the shot
games.
is happening.
With Sourcebox whittled down as the root cause for all of the shenanigans, it needs to be looked into further. Judging from what we've seen Ida do with the program, there's a lot of untapped potential for exploration here.
Okay.
That potential would start to be realized by Anomi after connecting to the CGE7 server with the Sourcebox client open. This sequence of events turns out to have a perplexing effect on Anomi's game.
When you try to join CGE while having Sourcebox running, this happens.
Nothing
Instead of
crashes?
connecting to the server like expected, Anomi is transported to a menu screen that looks remarkably similar to the one seen in Interloper 4. That menu screen allowed Anomi to pull Interloper demos without the Umbrella Man decal being present, and was
We're back to
activated
square
by keeping the
2
Portal RTX
or 3
client
now.
running. Here, Anomi's found himself with a menu that has an uncanny resemblance, and was
Ordnance.
accessed through very similar means. Unlike the Portal RTX menu though, this one has a different function altogether. Instead of a Find Servers button, there's an Ordnance button.
Okay.
Once clicked, it brings up a message. Please use a valid input device
Ooh.
or generate input field. Anomi would click on the Generate Input Field button, and as
Okay.
it turns out, this action is what resulted in the creation of Ask
Ooh.
within CGE7.
Okay.
The Ordnance button directly led to the Ordnance investigation. Ordnance, the map, was the input field unknowingly generated by Anomi after clicking the button. And he continues the video by breaking down the basics of the Ordnance investigation, which I have already devoted an ungodly amount of runtime to. But before
Yes.
he can really get into the weeds of the Ordnance investigation, the video is suddenly hijacked by Project Skybox.
Okay. Interloper 4,
Just like they took over the
the
live
investigation
stream,
by Anomi.
they've done the same
Example
to
A.
Interloper F to show another example of Anomi going behind their backs. However, this time, it's not just their backs he went behind. Anomi has been going behind our backs as well.
Oh no,
In
he's giving us
Interloper
back shots.
4, following the Portal 2 maze incident, the stream went down, and Anomi claimed
I don't
to
want
have
back
lost
shots,
the
though.
recording of what happened. According to him,
I would assume
the
he
Portal
didn't.
RTX client had gone white and began to play music. But as it turns out, his recollection was just a fabrication to hide the truth. And no one didn't lose his recording at all. He had intentionally omitted us from seeing
No,
it.
he would
However,
never.
thanks to the Project Skybox Collective, we can finally see for ourselves what really happened all that time ago.
No. And there it goes.
Ah, Counter Strike.
Huh?
Huh?
What is this?
After the stream ended, Anomi tried to reconnect to the Portal RTX server in Counter-Strike Source. He gets the Ordnance main menu screen.
Ooh.
Another Sourcebox function has been somehow applied to Portal RTX, and what's strange about this Ordnance main menu screen is that the map in the background isn't even from Counter-Strike at all. Rather, it's the map from Half-Life 2 Lost
Our 30 minutes
Coast.
shot, we're almost there.
Things get even weirder after Anomi clicks on the Ordnance button, as what happens next is much different than what happened in TF2. The message that replaces the input field prompt is even more unusual. Please
Okay.
use ord_ren to ping your container and make sure your connection is good before trying to push network updates. Networking issues
Bonk.
during merges make James very angry, and he will come to your desk and slap ya with a fish. This message reads much more like an inside joke, the type of language used by coworkers bantering. Without any context, the whole fish slapping bit just comes off as
Bonk,
weird.
bonk.
But with this bit of humor, we can deduce that this message was written by an F-Sky employee for their peers. The start of the message states that Ord Ren, also referred to as Heartbeat, pings your container to make sure your connection is good. From the various context clues we've been given regarding the word container, I think it's enough to support my educated guess that this is in reference to cones, as they contain both file data and intelligence. Thanks to Sourcebox, we actually have a name for the container Anomi is connected with. Interlope.dme.
Oh, never mind.
Decides to press the heartbeat button, and when the container is pinged, the result is the Portal RTX window going through a printer-like transition.
Again, okay. What?
Hold on a second. I know what this is.
I don't.
No, I know exactly what this is.
I don't. Explain to me,
This is
please.
probably around like 2012, because that's me. And that's Jeff or like Howard the Duck or whatever his name was.
Oh.
I remember this. Huh. You're not kidding.
Huh. Okay.
So it actually is.
What the screen transitions to is a 13-year-old screenshot of Anomi playing on a Counter-Strike source server. Deep in the archives of the F-Sky servers, amongst all of the data, lies the memories of players.
Okay.
Anomi has known this since at least episode 4 and has never disclosed that information to his viewers.
Because it's personal
The craziest part of this
information.
revelation is that Project Skybox explicitly states that these omissions of the truth were to protect F-Sky's image. What incentive does Anomi have for protecting the image
Well, he
of
was
a
paid more
defunct
then.
server hosting company? After the message, the video just continues with Anomi's investigation as if nothing even happened. But let's take a second to absorb that in. For a long time now, I've been theorizing that either Anomi or the Project Skybox Collective haven't been straight with us. There have been too many omitted facts, too many secrets, too much overlooked information for the investigation to be entirely in earnest. It turns out my hunch was correct. We can add that to the extremely minimal pile of theories I was correct about. Facts have indeed been intentionally hidden from us. Although before this revelation, if I were to hedge my bets, I would have put my money on the secretive collective of mysterious individuals to be the one obfuscating the facts over Anomi. Nonetheless, it appears Anomi has been the primary gatekeeper of information throughout the investigation, the person we've come to trust the most throughout the series. As far as Anomi's investigation goes, he reveals that the ordnance render, the one of the pawn leaving back towards the alley, is actually what triggered the decal anomaly from the beginning of the video. The timelines of Anomi's own investigations with Sourcebox, as well as the community's investigation into the server, both intertwine, with actions of one party affecting the other. But just when he's explaining the Type 7 demos, the video is met with another interruption from Project Skybox, with even more proof of Anomi withholding information. The lies go back as far as episode 2. You may remember that the episode had a ticking time clock framing device. There was only a limited amount of time to use the command before it was made unavailable again.
Now, if you
In
tell
the
me that's
video,
false,
Anomi shows a console command he discovered that showed him when exactly time to use the command would run out. The time to use the command would end up running out during a Type 5 demo, leading to the Umbrella Man incident that resulted in the creation of the bugged Portal RTX client. However, the Project Skybox Collective once again pokes a hole in Anomi's narrative. There was never a console command that showed the countdown to the Umbrella Man decal disappearing. It happens at random, and there's no way to know when. The clip of Anomi showcasing the command was actually a complete fabrication to cover his tracks. Instead, he was fed
the writing runs deep in him.
Outside source talked with Anomi and told him that disconnecting his Wi-Fi during a Type 5 demo can capture data. This is the same
If I'm correct that he was paid by the company, I would fucking love it.
As well as the method Ida used to capture
Ew.
Mona. Anomi had known about this technique since as early as episode 2, which was released well before Ida's entity capture re-upload was released, giving the public this information.
Getting sleepy.
As far as we know, Ida and J-Man were the only two people to know about this capture method.
Well, and the company.
Right after leaving the Ida Mona channel, this suggests that Anomi and Ida or possibly someone even more elusive, have been in contact for far longer than we were led to believe.
Possible,
Following
possible.
the Project Skybox interruption, Anomi's investigation picks up with the Half-Life 2 Xbox emulator. Since the events that transpired on the server, the client has mostly returned to normal, save for one major difference. When pressing continue game, the save is in the water hazard chapter of the game. Frozen in the exact moment of time Anomi glitched himself under the map. He's
Oh.
stuck in the ground with no weapons. He's in a similar slunken state as to what happened in the Project Skybox source mod after the heavy ambush. In this state, Anomi has zero control over anything. No movement, no guns, zip, nada. The only thing Anomi has
Zilch.
control over is the ability to unplug his controller, which
What?
activates something very peculiar.
I just
What?
found another little interesting thing. Watch what happens when I unplug my controller.
Please reconnect the controller and press start to
A
continue.
spinning gray cube
Ooh.
appears on screen, and the camera
That's-
shifts towards it.
Green.
The appearance and movement of the cube is nearly identical to the one seen in Sourcebox. These two functions
Or blue
are
green.
linked.
Or blue
As
ish
well as the
green.
cube within the emulator, small gray cube props have started spawning in all of Anomi's source games.
Let's
We saw
go.
one earlier in the episode next to the Ordnance decal. But that's
Stop
far
throwing
from
the
only
cube.
cube. From Portal to TF2 to Half-Life 2, cubes keep spawning in random locations for seemingly no reason at all. And Sourcebox is most certainly the culprit. This can be
Well,
confirmed.
Sourcebox
as
is
when
the culprit
Anomi
for everything,
attempts to
apparently.
no-clip inside of the cube, you can see that the inside of the cube is actually missing textures. And then the game crashes.
Yeah.
The missing textures inside of the gray cube match the one Ida was experimenting with during the spies tests. The name of the cube's
Oh.
model is even Sourcebox. Once more, the video is interrupted with another hijack from the Project Skybox collective. It appears after the falling out between Anomi and them, Anomi handed over all of his video files to the collective to be edited together into the finale. Now,
Ah,
with complete
okay, that makes
control
sense
over the Interloper
about the
project,
interceptions
Project Skybox have
or
finally
interruptions.
begun to air out their grievances with the investigation and Anomi's deception. Speaking of his
Hello,
lies,
son.
we're presented with yet another one here. During Interloper 5, Anomi would launch a multitude of void expeditions while using an old save of Gary's mod he had archived on a hard drive as a launch pad. A save in Gary's mod is essentially
Okay.
a play session frozen in time that can be returned to with a simple click of a button. And this particular save state on GM Construct is one Anomi is quite nostalgic for. The Gary's Mod Launchpad search would result in a huge success, with several void site finds. Anomi's lie here doesn't particularly have to do with the expedition itself, but rather the intention behind it. In the full clip leaked by Project Skybox, Anomi starts to wander around, reminiscing about his past in the
Giant
save.
PP container,
This isn't really a
yes.
surprise, as he does this in the original video as well. But Anomi's intentions are placed into question near the end of the clip.
You know, I kind of have this theory, okay, that like, if stuff is
Yes?
getting into the source void, okay,
Let me get the question is how are they getting there?
how long? we
Oh,
still don't
never
really know
mind.
how it happens.
I mean, kind of.
And so I'm wondering, like,
Kind of correct.
how long ago did stuff start getting in?
Since the creation of the source, I
That's
guess?
what I want to find out.
From Anomi's intonation, we can tell there's something more to what he's saying here. It's clear he's got some undisclosed emotional investment from his past in relation to the Interloper mystery. And that seems odd.
Wait.
Why would he intentionally omit this from the original upload? There's even more here too. Rewind the clip and play it again with subtitles enabled, and you
Okay.
can see hidden dialogue that Anomi is having with Lucy, a Project Skybox member. Her side of the conversation can't be heard in the video, but it can be read.
This one. I wanted to try using this one. Sorry. No, I just haven't opened this in a long time.
Pigeon.
This save is actually a really old one that I've kept on a hard drive for a long time. Yeah, back in the day, it was me and a small group of friends, but mostly in, me and... Yeah, exactly.
Spice.
We put together a lot of this ourselves. I built a park. Yeah.
Kör du det? Haha.
A lot of memories. We spent a lot of time here. Not even just building. Just like, since we just talk all the time as well.
Who
Okay.
is Spice Nice?
Oh, Spice Nice, not Spice Names. I'm
Skybox goes
fucking
on to state
stupid.
That throughout most of, if not the entire series, Anomi has been working towards a secret goal that he's never told anyone about.
Wow.
But why all this
Oh, they told him
secrets, the
not to
deliberate omissions, and the
tell
lies?
anyone.
When considering Anomi's degrading mental state, his growing obsession with the past, and the mounting lies, it's easy to tell that this is all compounding towards something massive, but we just don't have the context or the information to put the pieces together quite yet. After the Project Skybox interruption, Anomi begins to discover that the cube has a lot of bizarre properties.
It jumps.
Firstly, due to everyone's favorite feature of the source engine, spaghetti code, it's possible to crash your game using the cube.
Of
Anomi
course.
discovers several methods of accomplishing this. The first and most simple
Wait,
crash
what if
method
Anomi
is
and Ida
just
are the same
shooting
person,
cube
chat?
with the AWP in Counter-Strike. The cube prop also interacts with physics props in an untypical manner, so colliding with other physics props can trigger a crash. What is
Why not?
definitely the most absurd
Call of
crash
Duty.
method is utilizing a hydrogen bomb mod in Gary's mod to quite literally nuke the cube.
Oh,
Who would win? A tiny gray cube or a hydrogen bomb?
the gray cube, of
One
course.
of the cube's more puzzling features is that
Ow.
it essentially acts like an aimbot cheat. The cube has a picker function that causes the player's crosshair to lock onto entities,
Yeah.
which often includes enemy players.
Of
Anomi
course.
makes the obvious choice to not use this in a multiplayer game, because hey, maybe Valve anti-cheat would actually do something for once. An observation of
course.
mine is that the way the crosshair locks onto entities using the cube looks very close to the way crashers snapped onto entities in Type 6 demos. I'm not 100% certain if there's a meaningful connection to be drawn here, but I did want to mention it, because in this series, everything is connected in one way or another. Another feature of the cube prop
My
is that
Jerry
while
now
in
is
the
either
source
an
game, if
Anomi
you
or
click
the same
on
person.
Cube button within Sourcebox, it will spawn a cube on your crosshair like the spawn menu in Gmod. This function
Ooh.
certainly makes experimenting on the cube much easier. From Ida's Spy's tests, he showed that game crashes utilizing the cube can have strange interactions with Sourcebox. Using it, he was able to conduct expeditions into the void, such
Okay.
as the castle map that can be seen in a few of the tests. After enough experimentation with the cube, Anomi is eventually able to make a breakthrough, just like Ida. The process to unlocking the cube's potential is like cube map exams from Interloper B in the sense that it's a very convoluted process.
Ooh,
So
Jesus.
allow me to try my best to walk you through it. In order to execute this technique, Anomi needs 3 clients: a source game of his choice, Sourcebox, and the Xbox emulator with the controller unplugged. When Anomi causes
Okay.
a cube crash through any of the prior mentioned cube crash methods, then clicks the sphere button in Sourcebox, all while the emulator is running, it will trigger a reaction.
Look at what happens inside of Half-Life 2 Xbox.
The POV in the emulator will enter the true void in the exact place the crash occurred in the surface world. Anomi calls this
Oh.
process a cube capture.
No.
And that means we now have an explanation for what Ida was doing in his spies test.
Naruhodo.
However, a major difference between their investigations is that Ida performed cube captures with the DM editor, a tool Anomi doesn't have access to. Instead of the DM editor, Anomi has been able to substitute it with the bugged emulator client, which is a bizarre interaction, but it works nonetheless. It's hard to imagine the time
Insider
investment for
information.
the amount of experimentation, trial, and error Anomi needed to make this discovery. He shows us himself just how long he's been experimenting with the cube. Random unfruitful tests, untold hours of wasted time, all spent trying
we're
to get
flying.
this damn cube to do something interesting. Anomi goes so far as to say if a friend of his ever found out how much time he's been spending with the cube, they'd hold an intervention. He tries to play it off like a joke, but it's obvious to see just how unhealthy his toxic obsession with the interloper mystery has become. Ida even tried to directly warn Anomi about this, but it's a warning he ultimately failed to heed. Soon after the cube capture discovery, Anomi shows us a curious scene from one of his many cube experiments.
We're knocking. Pretty sure the cube is making that sound. Why are we looking there? What?
Anomi hears the same bell chime sound used in the Type
Ow.
7 demos, while inside of Gary's mod.
Oh, ow, those ones.
Using this discovery, Anomi is able to discern that pulling interloper demos will stall the interlope.dme entity in place within the tracker. This
Okay.
is why Anomi was generating demos during the live stream clip. Utilizing all of the pieces of information he's gathered, Anomi cooks up a devious scheme. He builds a test map and loads it within Gary's mod. Using the coordinates from the tracking feature in Sourcebox, Anomi is able to triangulate the path of the entity. He then creates a giant
We're
drone
reaching the
using
shot,
a shipping
chat.
container, places a Sourcebox cube and a hydrogen bomb inside of it, and ships it off into the void. This recontextualizes the
I
Sourcebox
guess.
footage from the cryptic live stream. The unknown object that approached interlope.dme was Onomi's hydrogen bomb drone. He friggin' nuked the interloper. Thanks to the Project Skybox Collective,
Okay.
they show us an extended version of the clip from the live stream, where we can see the direct aftermath of the nuclear explosion.
Whoa. Oh, okay. What?
According to the Project Skybox Collective, the action of nuking the interloper captured it within the Xbox emulator. Anomi used a
I
box
guess.
from Sourcebox to capture an entity in an Xbox. If it's true that the interloper has been the source of all of the interloper demos that have been pulled, then that means that the entity is now completely under Anomi's control within the emulator.
Oh,
Anomi shows off
God.
the capabilities of
What
this
can go
in
wrong,
another
huh?
clip he sent to the collective.
You ever wonder what Portal would be like if the engineer from TF2 was here? Well, what if we also brought along Gordon Freeman?
From what we can see in the short clip,
so-
after the capture of the interloper, performing cube
haven't talked
captures
in a
now
while.
allows for the control of pawns within the emulator. This means Anomi has full control within the source void again.
No.
Even though within the
Lovely.
emulator there's no controller plugged in, he can control the various pawns with a mouse and keyboard through other source programs. Another
Okay.
important observation comes when Anomi closes the cube capture. After nuking the interloper, the spinning cube in the emulator has been replaced with the spheres from the Type 7 demos. Despite this being
I'm also
a
excited, but I'm also
groundbreaking
tired as
find that would allow
fuck.
for another Void expedition, Anomi made the choice to not share this with Project Skybox, intentionally hiding it from them. As well as the interloper capture,
Of
Anomi
source
was
history.
hiding another massive secret as well, from during the sky crash incident in Interloper C. During his meeting with the benevolent feminine figure, and oh boy, is this scene a massive can of worms that still makes my head hurt, she pointed Anomi towards an unidentifiable map in the distance with some sort of figure jumping around in it. Before, it was impossible to get a good look due to the amount of distance from the map to Anomi.
Okay.
Initially, I had theorized that this map looked like a hub of sorts. And in that sense, I was correct in my
Is a
assessment.
filing shrine, chat. We're
In
back in
this
Dark Souls
video, We
1.
finally get an answer as to
All
what
road
this
leads to
strange
Dark Souls
map
1.
was, as Project Skybox now has the complete recording of that event. It turns out that this hub was much more important than Anomi had led us to believe.
I might be crazy or something, but it looks like a TF2 map I used to play on all the time back when I was in like little in high school.
Oh, that makes sense now.
It's like a special TF2 server or something. It's called Axles. It's quite a blast from the past I wasn't expecting.
Why is it called Axos?
That's
Not entirely sure. Wee.
Oh shit, another one.
This map is the hub for an old TF2 server known as Axles. It had a 7-year run from 2008 all the way until 2015. And it's a very nostalgic place.
Wild.
He openly reminisces about his fond memories here. This makes it so much weirder that the benevolent lady is what guided him here. Hell, I've talked to the biggest interloper scholars on the internet, and even they don't know what this freaking thing is. However, one thing is for sure, and it's that they seem to have a connection to Anomi's past, as what happens next shows how intensely linked he is with this.
Someone jumping.
No way. A yellow tassel cat?
A what?
Oh my god. Is that me?
Anomi finds himself, or at least a digital recreation of himself. Amongst all of the other entities of the Void, there exists digital recreations of players made up from their data.
Okay.
The servers you played on, the characters you played as, the
Banner
messages
Blitz,
you typed.
please.
It looks like all of that data, the things that make you, was stored in the F-Sky server base. Everyone who
Brain
was playing
scan,
games on the Source
yes.
engine was unknowingly being spied on, and their data was being used to train DM NPCs. It also looks like
God.
all of that player data, those memories,
No, Chad, we're
can
back in
manifest
Soma.
as their own beings in the void. During the sky crash, you may remember Spave, the NPC
Yes.
who chucked Anomi off of a cliff. It can now be surmised that Spave is another one of these digital recreations of a real player. One who probably doesn't even know that there's an AI doppelganger of himself deep within the recesses of the Source engine.
Wait, the copies
This
of
revelation seems to shake
Beep.
Anomi.
Oh,
As Project
so I have
Skybox
more
tells us that
brain
this
scans,
discovery,
kind of.
compounded by all the other lies he kept, is what kick-started his behind-the-scenes investigation. Now that we know what Anomi
Jesus.
knows, it's time to dive into that personal investigation. He starts it
I
by
still
making
think
an abstract
Anomi and
drawing
Ida are the same person,
and
chat.
turning that drawing into a spray inside of his source game. Then, Anomi throws the cube into the water. During Ida's spy's
we're drowning
tests,
it.
when he tossed the cube into the water, it activated a cube capture.
Made the
While
torture
Anomi
device
doesn't
even
get quite
worse.
the same
Yeah.
results, the water does seem to trigger a reaction from the cube.
He was maybe did not like that specific person quite a lot. Well, also, mate, is my hypothesis any close to correct
The Xbox
or making
emulator
sense?
begins to play 3 sound effects from Half-Life 2 on loop. Back during Interloper A, the Sky Ghost operated on a passive cycle. One of the steps of that cycle was playing 3 random sound effects from Half-Life 2. The passive cycle is what allowed for the use of cube map exams. In those exams, the Sky Ghost would seemingly
Oh,
be
God.
transported to a map
Of
from
course
an
there
Interloper
is.
demo with a new form to temporarily inhabit. Like this cube map exam where the Sky Ghost possesses the model of a cone. I wonder what's up with that. Well, Anomi discovers that he can perform a similar procedure to a cube map exam on himself by utilizing the spray image he
To reveal
inputted
that
into
fact.
the game file.
The fact Anomi and Ida are the same person, or the fact they're all kind of sentient copies? No, I did not ask if they're magic. Oh, I asked that for the first time, but then I was like, wait, are all of them brain scans? And you said no, and I was like, okay, there is only one.
And playing the sound effects used in the Xbox emulator from the in-game.
It's kind of AI-controlled copies of people, but yeah. Well, literally the narrative of Soma. There is only one. Yeah, there is only one brain scan, but I guess it works on all NPCs, kind of.
Console.
Kind
By
of
doing
thing.
this, Anomi will perform a cube capture from inside of the Xbox emulator.
Well, it made a long time. It only took 6 hours and 16 minutes. It's one brain scan pretending to be many. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I don't think pretending. It's more like one brain scan kind of controlled. Or I guess lied to that it thinks it's many. Kind of like multiple personality disorders, something like that. Maybe they all think they're different people. Or maybe they want to be different people, so that's why they're doing that. And maybe the umbrella people kind of the NPCs that regulate if someone gets, oh, I might not be a different person, I might be part of blah blah blah. And umbrella people are like, no you don't.
Shockingly, the location that he gets transported to matches
The original
the
brain
spray
scan, which
input.
is a
Using
woman,
the spray input
the
cube
benevolent
capture method,
purple
he can be
woman that
transported
points in
essentially
into yeah.
anywhere he wants in the void. It looks like the source engine finds the closest approximation of a map matching the input spray and sends the player to it. Anomi refers to this process as a
Holy
discriminator.
fuck, that's disgusting. The woman is basically torturing herself.
In the technical
God.
world, a discriminator is a set of
The core
characters used to
personality for
define
the
similar
mono. Yeah.
entities. This could explain a lot about the void. For instance, think
It's
of
the woman that I
Twofold.
think they
Over
used
the
to
course of
recreate
Team Fortress
the
2's existence, thousands
NPC's
upon
face in
thousands
the
of matches of
ad.
Twofold have been played. How would the void categorize all of those unique instances of the map? These sound effects act
Yeah.
as the discriminator, allowing the void to capture a near limitless amount of memories. What this means is that not only can Anomi visit anywhere in the void, he can visit any time. With seemingly every memory of every player captured within the servers of F-Sky, all he needs
That's
is a
kind of
single
disturbing.
screenshot to visit any moment in time.
Ooh.
Something he shows off by visiting a scene from the Gmod Idiot box.
This is just surreal.
I mean, I guess it's just the game records your movements, your actions, and then it puts the brain of the DM NPC, well, the Mona, in there, and then kind of, you're now this person. You're not Mona. You're this person. Be this person. And then it's a spiral, just continues. Train personalities of NPC. I mean, yeah, I guess. Why is he joking it? It's a sad moment. Stop joking it. I don't think Anomi and Ida are the same person, but I would like to think so. That make quite a cool. That would be quite a cool. Not red herring. Fuck. What was the word? Twist? Plot twist? I guess. The DM NPCs aren't trained by pain. As a psychotic guy suspected, it's trained from the previous gameplay injected to her ear. So it mechanically wouldn't work except just bring pain. It's not even pain, to be honest. I mean, except... it's more of the sensation of discomfort, because I don't think it can feel pain. Oh, I guess they lie to the brain that it feels pain, so kind of. Literally being tortured and she will never know why. Yeah. I mean, another proof why torture doesn't work. You are that person. No, I'm not. I guess I am now. We're drowned again.
But it looks like if you die in the game, you die in real life. Or the emulator, I guess. Imagine for a moment being able to visit memories. Not just your own, but anyone's. That's an immense power to have. Being able to visit your fondest memories, your favorite games like they once were. It's like having a digital time machine. It's...
Oh my god, it's almost like YouTube chat. Oh wait, it is the same thing as YouTube.
frankly awe-inspiring to see what F-Sky was able to flawlessly preserve. That is, if you're willing to overlook the obvious invasion of privacy required to create the voice.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anomi seems to think this much as well, because he uses his newfound power to travel
to make
some of his
evil,
oldest source
except more morally. Yeah. I mean, what are morals if not to break, chat? Come on now.
memories. One such memory he visits is of an old destructible house map. As he wanders the map, he starts to look for someone. Jutting out of one of the house's destroyed walls, a distorted model of what looks to be a woman can be seen.
A woman.
This seems to be what Anomi was looking for. However, he expresses disappointment upon finding it. He's gotten closer to what he's searching for, but hasn't quite reached it yet. Another exploration sees Anomi wandering
Why is he
the streets of
left-handed?
a long-abandoned Gmod Dark RP server.
Ew.
According to him, he used to be an admin on this server as a 13-year-old. And to anyone questioning why a server would allow a 13-year-old to be an administrator, allow me to reassure you as a former squeaker that this is the most realistic depiction of a Gmod server I've ever seen. Anomi...
I never... Let me formulate my sentence. I never got the fascination of with Gary's mod. Never found it funny. Not even the videos of it back in the olden days. Nor of any of the Half-Life games. I played only the first one. Maybe that's why. Never played more than Half-Life 1. But damn, that AIG is cool as fuck.
even finds a digital shell of himself still left behind.
In that time, I preferred more Minecraft as, I guess, open source game. Source. Oh, I guess sandbox game, not open source. I'm fucking stupid. As a sandbox game. And other kind of single player games. For example, Darksiders. That's when I first played, I was about like 10, 11? Between 10 and 13, one of that, between that age, that's when I played Dark Souls. That's when I played fuck, I forgot the name of the game that oh, sorry. Fuck. With death and the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse game. Fuck. Darkstriders? Darkstriders? Darkrai? Deathstriders? Something like that it was called. I'm
Using the
not
form
branding anymore.
of a Combine Elite player model. In one of his experiments, Anomi
But I
attempts to
love the
visit
games
a
I played,
screenshot
1 and 2,
of
I still have them.
Upload 2's beta before the game was released. However, this particular test yields no results. There appears to be a hard time cut.
But that's basically where my fascination and love with... I mean, I guess I can see why so many people love the Half-Life franchise and I guess the Souls games. Because I'm the same with Dark Souls. Because that's when I started playing Dark Souls 1. The Dark Souls 2 game, I think it was out at this point. But I love the theorizing and thinking what exactly the Age of Dark and what the story implies. I like the fact I kind of reached the same conclusion the story went to. I was a smart kid and I don't know what happened, but it went downhill ever since.
For is one that's more difficult to find, since he doesn't have a screenshot of it.
He's
for
tweaking.
display input. The memory he's searching for is one that takes place.
But I personally never found
Even if he doesn't have a screenshot of the castle.
the fascination
with the
of
power
the
MS Paint, anything is possible. If Anomi can simply draw a
of Gary's
picture
mod.
that looks close enough to the castle from his memories, then the cube capture will approximate it and send him there. But drawing a picture
Maybe I
of a
had
map
the
of these
my lack
years
of
old memories is understandably hard, and Anomi shows us an entire collage of
Maybe
failed
my
attempts
lack
to
of
successfully
imagination
visit the castle.
was
Days
kind
worth
of
effort
sort of to blame with
so
that.
far has been completely fruitless.
Those look more
The
like
level of
mushrooms.
obsession he's showing
Or
here
fingers, but
indicates that this castle map must contain what he's searching
Jesus.
for. And with enough work, and God knows how many
Only an
MS
hour
Paint
left,
castles,
chat. Jesus
Anomi
Christ.
finally makes it in.
I mean, the reason why Source is the best channel for this kind of RPG, it was the most impressive rendering tool of its time. Yeah. It was incredibly nostalgic, as most 2000s game runs on Source, and is the most realistic with how Source got taken by. Oh yeah, a thing like Flash into were buggy. I mean, they still are at time. Jesus fucking wait! I just the thing you said just make me. How the fuck can something be buggier than Source? And Unreal wasn't Unreal then, yeah. But also there are other more impressive. I mean, yeah. Also the fact Source still has a couple of the most played games in the world. Dota 2, Counter-Strike 2 now. Half-Life is still hugely played. Gmod, I'm not entirely sure how hugely played Gmod is, but it was extremely hugely played back in the day. So it makes sense why that was the most impressive engine that survived, because the one that was played the most. Them still impressive, you know. Yeah. Oh, I am planning of playing Resident Evil 4, but not entirely sure when. But we were playing Resident Evil 4. We're the 3-hour mark. I am. We have an hour left. Continue next week. I mean, we have just an hour, but yeah. Yeah, we can continue next week, and then we'll also have time to discuss what and why it's happening. But also, I want an answer. Is are the two people the same? Anomi and Ida? Bambadu name, sorry. Save it for next week. Yes. Like, is it the same person? I think no. Okay. Because it would be cool, like a really cool plot twist. Iomi? Jan or Yan. Like something happened, lost their memories. Ooh, or developed multi-personality disorder, and now the other personality is trying to. Oh Jesus! Oh, he's trying to get what happened back in the days. Yes, cat. Yes. I forgot. I'm recollecting who's who. I mean, we'll check next week. Yes, we'll check next week. Oh, by the way, Chad, tomorrow I'm not entirely sure what we're doing. We may play Castlevania. We may do some just chatting stuff again. Not sure. But Wednesday, the idea for now is we're playing Elden Ring Randomizer, if I fucking remember. Who they are? Yeah. Okay, I guess don't spoil it, but am I close? Yes, thank you. Ida is in the head. Yeah, okay, I was not close. Okay. But that would have been a cool plot twist. But yeah, no idea what we're doing tomorrow. Maybe it's something just chatting again. Impossible not. But Wednesday and Thursday we're playing hopefully the Elden Ring Randomizer. And Friday we're continuing with the Jack of all trades run. I'm excited. But anyway, thank you for watching. I'm gonna go fucking sleep, I guess. Because I'm losing it. You have the security guy who believes in spirits and ghosts. I mean, yeah. But something could have happened. Maybe they have lost... tortured the heck of the soul of NPC. I mean, yeah. I mean, we're putting too much thought into Ida's doings. He was doing what humans do best. Do harm to the things you don't understand, because the thing you don't understand is scary. So, human being humaning. Who would have guessed? And also by him, his fascination, and like with the NPC, and I guess they have the NPC if they talked, or if he did anything with the NPC, and then he killed the NPC, because I guess the NPC didn't, the ghost didn't respond to the way he wanted it, so he kind of started even torturing them even more. Humans being humaning, chat. Without the AI and brain scans in mind, he believed in container soul. Yes, and 9 souls to be exact. Sorry. It has more knowledge of map making. So he's presented by Gmod map making. Yeah. Ida is a menace to society and needs to be put on a watch list. I don't think depression explains the psychotic behavior here. Maybe it does. I'm not a psychiatrist. But I don't think it does, chat. Like, there is something more than him being just depressed for that. I mean, while Anomi is more like researcher, kind of like their lord. Does it have anything else? It's just a poke and prod and see if something happens for the sake of curiosity. I mean, yeah, but we see how he kind of changes, how his behavior towards the whole thing kind of changes during the experience, how he hides, I guess, some of the stuff that had happened. That's what made me think. We'll shave it for next week for now. Yes. But that's what made me think they're the same person. But anyway, thank you for watching. We're gonna see each other tomorrow with God knows what. Because I don't. Either Castlevania or some kind of just chatting stream. Not entirely sure. That's the thing, I have no idea what's tomorrow. Either Castlevania or some kind of just chatting stream. We'll see. Could be Isaac, could be Castlevania, could be game making. We'll see. I'm not entirely sure. But after that is Wednesday and Thursday is Elden Ring randomizer. Oh, Dark Souls 1 randomizer, because I really like those games. Anywho, maybe just fill the week with Baldur's Gate. I mean, could be. Or we can play the Elden Ring randomizer tomorrow. Or whatever rando while we're playing. Like tomorrow on Wednesday and then Thursday and Friday we play Baldur's Gate. Makes sense. We could. A Baldur's Gate randomizer. After we finish the Jack of all trades run and I make the video, we could make a randomizer, because I would have remembered the game, so we can kind of make it faster. Oh, my neck, Jesus. But I would like it to be everything randomized. The characters to be random. My characters to be randomized. Their equipment, etc. But that would be cool. And also a funny video. But anyway, I'm upload the Warframe prototype of the video. Oh god, that would be cool. Maybe I can add a model for more spells as well. For more spells, yes. But I'll add more spells. I like a mod for more spells. That would be cool. If we get powers, oh, that should be funny. That'll be fun. Versus so shit going goblin, yes. The goblin. But yeah, I'm gonna upload the Warframe video, well, the prototype of the Warframe video kind of tonight, if I don't fall asleep immediately after the stream. And then I'm planning for me explaining the run, I guess the Jack of all trades run. Was it shovel? Yes. Shovel, fork, or spoon, I think? Something like that. But yeah. So I will want your feedback on the video. What you think works, what you did do. Yes, fork. Thank you. My name, I think we named him Fork because he liked gouging. Oh, bow, fork, or shovel. I think it was, and he liked Fork because he liked stabbing eyes out, something like that. Fork on the able, yes. But yeah, I'm gonna upload the video because I can interrupt myself a couple of times for the Warframe. I want the feedback because I'm planning to make the Jack of all trades video kind of after I finish the challenge one. I'm planning it to be something similar to that because I like talking to the camera, and I don't want it to be just me, like just gameplay and my voice in there. So to be more like a presenter type of video. Just a quick, that sounds extremely wrong. Italian dog.
I'm going to Malta to big hotel.
Yes, yes.
I tell the waitress I want 2 pieces of toast. She brings me only 1 piece. I tell her I want 2 pieces. She say go to the toilet. I say you don't understand. I want to do piss under my plate. She say you better no piss on the plate. You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch.
And she calling me a son of a bitch. Later, I go to eat at a bigger restaurant. The waitress brings me a spoon and a knife, but no fork. I tell her I wanted the fork. She tell me everybody want a fork. I tell her you don't understand. I want a fork on the table. She say you better not fuck on the table, you son of a bitch. So I go back to my room in a hotel, and there is no sheets on the bed.
Oh no, I want to shit on the bed.
I tell him I want to shit. He tell me to go to the toilet. I say you don't understand. I want to shit on my bed. He say you better not shit on my bed, you son of a bitch.
I want the fuck on the table.
And the man at the desk said, peace on you. I said, peace on you too, you son of a bitch. I'm going back to Italia. Arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
In the morning, one day I'm going to Malta to big house.
To big hotel. Yes. But yeah, on the video, I want it to be more of kind of me presenting, me standing up and talking about the, well, I guess the challenge one, in that case, kind of thing. The question is, do I want my videos to be to have a script or no? I like that when the videos don't have a script because well, I'm training the way I do for the English. I'm training how to talk, I guess. But we'll see. Anyway, I'm ending because I'm losing it. Anyway, thank you for watching. We're going to see each other tomorrow. Until then, don't forget, have fun, chat. Bye.